Before we go, one last thing
Yeah.
that I will say, because I'm going to get in trouble after otherwise.
What's that?
Is that my wife loves the pizza reviews.
Oh,
So
Okay.
okay. Love
that's why I'm
that.
One
here.
bite.
On today's Part in My Take, we have a twofer for the people. We have two geniuses at their craft. Tarik Skubal, AL Cy Young winner, Detroit Tigers. In studio, awesome interview with him. He's a great dude. And then we have Grandmaster, number one in the world, chess genius, Magnus Carlsen.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. Great interview with him. We're going to talk some hockey. We're getting ready for game 3 of the NBA Finals. We have some hot seat chill thrown, and we finish up with listener submitted Guys on Chicks. We did Guys on Chicks, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The NBA Finals are finally here, and this is your last shot to win some real cash before the season ends. The simplest way to get in on the action, downloading the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It's crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. No gimmicks, no weird rules, just ball. Nail your picks and you're heating up. Pick 6 brings upside with payouts up to 500 times. Ready to make your finals run? Pick 6 is live in a ton of states: Texas, Cali, Georgia, Missouri, and lots more. And get this, all new Pick 6 customers will instantly get 50 in bonus picks on just a $5 entry. So don't miss your last shot to win some cash this NBA season. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. New customers play $5, get 50 in bonus picks instantly. Ride the upside only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go.
Hey, football guy. Patino. AWS. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take.
Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Don't miss your last shot to win some cash this NBA season. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. New customers play $5, get 50 in bonus picks instantly. Ride the upside only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Today is Wednesday, June 11th, and the Florida Panthers are a major, major problem after not only beating the Oilers on the ice in terms of goals, but beating the fuck out of them in fights. This feels like the Oilers are on some dangerous, dangerous territory.
Yeah, I was happy that the Oilers, in theory, fought against the Panthers at the end of the game. That, as a hockey expert, my plan whenever you're getting your ass kicked in a series and you want to shift it around, just get into a massive line brawl at the end of that game and just try to change the energy up somehow. I'm glad that theoretically they did that, but then they kind of all got their ass beat.
They lost all 5 fights
by the Panthers. Now, there was one move that they should have done that they did not do. Why didn't Skinner fight Bob?
Would have changed everything.
It would have changed everything.
Yep.
If you lose 5 fights, but your goalie beats up their goalie, that's a wash.
Yeah.
That's even as far as I'm concerned. But both goalies kind of chose to stay out of it at the end. But on the ice, there was nothing that the Oilers could do. Sam Bennett, shift of the year. Shift of the year for that one shift where he knocked the fuck out of McDavid, then scored a goal.
He's insane.
That might be the best shift I've ever seen.
I think he has like 10 plus playoff goals right now. He's out of control. Marchand still, he started the scoring, like he's just scored in every single game. The Panthers too, they're in some pretty crazy territory. Teams in NHL history to have 4+ goal victories against 4 different opponents in a single playoff run. It is the 1981 Islanders. That was a dynasty. The 1983 Islanders, dynasty. They won 4 in a row. And the 2025 Panthers.
Pretty
crazy. Every single round, they've just been kicking the shit out of their opponent at least once a series, sometimes more. And I don't know. Listen. I believe Whitney and that this is going to be a long series, but Game 4, I'm going to say it, must win for the Oilers. But then I was thinking about it because I was like, oh, this is a must win. The Oilers did come back from down 3-0 last year to force a Game 7. So there's something in there, but I feel like this is the way that game went, and we said it, Bob is going to get locked in. He was locked in. It feels like it's going to be a tall task for the Oilers if they lose on Thursday night.
I'm trying to see what were the scores of the first 2 games last year. First 3 games. So game 1, Panthers 3, Oilers 0. Game 2, 4-1, and then 4-3 in game 3. Game 4 is where it all flipped. The series flipped.
Yeah.
And it ended up flipping back again. But the Oilers won game 4 last year, 8-1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say it's a must win.
It's a must win.
I would agree.
Because you just it will sound stupid, but being down, if the Panthers win, especially like they did on Monday night, if they do the same thing on Thursday night, I would say that it feels different than being down 3-0. And I know that's crazy, but 3-0 always you have the game after the game 4 where it's like the team that's up 3-0 is probably not going to, there's no urgency.
Yeah.
And then they got into that, like going back to Edmonton, dragging them back and all that stuff. I don't know.
But
They got to win this.
We're also talking about what they did last year after they were down 3-0. They did end up losing that series.
Correct.
So that's why you don't want to be down.
They do have game
3-1.
7 at home this year.
That's true.
Which Whitney, I gotta say, I love Whitney so much. What a fucking genius move by him. Because I opened my eyes on Monday morning, and the first 3 tweets I saw was, Whitney gives you guys so much, and you guys won't go to game 7 with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I don't know if he did that on purpose, but a genius move by him.
There was a lot of guilt tripping.
Yeah,
which
he
all fair.
flipped
This
it
is fair.
so perfectly.
This is
on
good.
us.
This
Yeah.
is good stuff. I want to see this go 7. I still do, and I don't think that the Oilers are done. And that was a great mathematical breakdown that we did right there, which is you'd rather be down.
I'd rather
3-0 than 3-1, or would you rather be down 3-1 than 3-0?
I'd rather be down 3-0 than 3-1.
What about you, Hank?
3-1.
You'd rather be down 3-1?
Yeah. I think statistically more teams will come back from
Probably, yeah,
3-1.
you're right. You're right. It does sound stupid, but I just think vibes-wise, 3-0.
I know what you're saying.
3-0, you
Yeah.
can kind of sneak up on them. 3-1, you can't. Again, they did lose the series.
You're down 3-0. You're probably going to game 4. That's a gimme.
right.
You're going to win that one.
Right. And then it's like, all right, now we're
3-1,
just.
yeah.
And also, when you're down 3-0, if you can win game 4 and 5, all the pressure flips back. Whereas if you're down 3-1, it's not like it's never happened. Where 3-1 lead has been that balance of pressure where it's like, holy shit, are they going to blow a 3-0 lead?
You don't want to be tied 3-3 because you're going to lose that game 7.
Correct.
That's what we've learned.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Except for last year.
No,
The Oilers lost game
the
7
Oilers
last
lost
year.
it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Panthers.
Yeah. No, the Panthers are a problem.
They are
looked
really fucking good.
So good. And they just, like I said, it's one thing to win by 5 goals, to then win 5 fights. You can't annihilate a team more than that.
Yeah. I would have liked to see Skinner chuck some knucks out there. Drop the gloves. They're not sponsored by Super Glue.
I agree with you. Goalie fight, something like goalie fight just hits perfectly. All right, so game 3 of the NBA playoffs is tonight. Do we have any thoughts? I have one bad thought for the Pacers.
Okay.
The Pacers, Indianapolis, they have renamed some of the streets for some of the players on the Pacers.
Okay.
That feels like we just went through this. Why? Why would you do this?
What are they naming?
Again, it's I'm not blaming Pacers fans or the Pacers. I'm blaming the politicians who try to get involved in sports. Toppin Ave, Turner Lane.
Toppin Ave actually sounds like
Yeah.
a pretty cool spot.
That sounds like an awesome spot.
Yeah.
Halliburton Road. I don't know. This feels ominous.
Halliburton Road doesn't really roll off the tongue. We tried that in Iraq.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Toppin Ave is. That's a keeper.
Yeah, leave that street sign up no matter what.
Yeah, that is absolutely a keeper.
I'm not changing my take, even though I was thinking this in the middle of game 1, which the Pacers came back to win, but it just seems like this is going to be a blowout series. 4-1. But again, I was thinking that in the first half of the first game, and I was like, the Pacers don't stand a chance. They obviously won that game, but after game 2, I'm sticking with it.
What are we thinking the court's going to look like? Has Silver told us anything about the Indy court?
I don't know. They had time. They have time. They could easily make a fix.
I think I'm going to stay with 4-2 Thunder.
Okay. I feel confident in that as well. I'll piggyback with you. Do we want to put together a parlay, which we haven't been able to hit, but we're going to hit one?
Yeah.
Can we all just agree to just hit it?
Why don't we just take a beat just to make sure that we feel good with our bets?
Yeah,
I
let's
love my pick.
All right.
let's take a beat.
3, 2, 1, beat. I feel great about my pick.
I don't feel great about my pick, but that's usually a good thing. Okay, the NBA Finals are finally here, and it's about time to get wild. High stakes drama, insane buzzer beaters, jaw-dropping dunks, and the excitement you live for. And guess what? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is giving you a chance to boost your winnings every single game during the final. That's right, every game, all finals long, DraftKings is rolling out a special NBA profit boost. So what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE to claim your profit boost. That's right, code TAKE to get your boost for every single NBA Finals game. Don't miss your shot at big wins. This is the moment you've been waiting for, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, boys, what do we got? What do we got?
I'm keeping it simple. Thunder minus 5.5.
Thunder minus 5.5.
Okay.
Should I do an alternate, or is that because we gotta win?
We got to see one go
We
in.
gotta win one. All right, throw in. But then Jackie Tables always screws us. Aaron Nesmith.
What's your pick you love, PFT?
Give us your pick you love, PFT.
Okay, my pick that I love, I've got 2 that I love, so I got to sort it out.
All right, I'm gonna do Aaron Nesmith over 20. Over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Okay.
I haven't done a pacer yet in this series. Time for me to get involved with the pacer.
I love this one. This is also a pacer.
Okay.
Nimhard, 12-plus points.
Okay.
Let's get Nimhard in here.
That's good because when Nesmith and Nemhard, like, you can get them confused on the court. And
Yep.
you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
At least we get something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's get Nimhard in.
Which one did you say? How many points, PFT?
12-plus.
12 plus.
Let's get
I
it.
am doing Lou Dort,
Oh.
8 plus.
Wow.
Ooh,
Going
these odds
reverse of what he did. He scored 3 the other night.
Yep. I will say this: 6-1. Odds aren't great on this one, but you know what? We need to see one go through the hoop.
Exactly.
We got to see one go through the hoop. Who's screwing up the odds?
Mine was minus 125.
Okay, that's fine.
No,
Mine was
yours
minus
is
110.
minus 165.
Oh.
Huh?
12 plus
Oh.
points for
I got-
Smith.
Get him
I got
14?
Nimhard.
Oh,
I said Nesmith 20 points, rebounds, and assists.
hold on.
Come
Check
on,
that.
Max.
Check that.
Zach, this is why we got you
Zach,
back there.
you should be. Zach,
Well, I'm trying to come up with a pick and do
Zach,
this at the
you,
same time.
yeah, because we didn't know we were going to do this. Zach, you should have been controlling this.
I also gotta find it. Like, I am learning your guys' picks on the spot, and you have to navigate the DraftKings app.
Zach, does Max
and do it at
intimidate
the
you?
same time.
Max, are you excited for the new
Wait, what did you pick?
Nesmith over points, rebounds, assists 20?
Oh, I keep doing Nesmith for PFT. Nesmith and Nemhard are confusing. You know this.
I do. We just said that it's great that we have both of them. Max,
Okay,
are you-
13-1. We're back.
Oh,
All
let's
right,
go.
That's great. Love it.
Max, are you excited for the new Philly stadiums being built by the guy who built the Sphere? Maybe he'll build a Sphere. Did you
I
guys
did
see
not.
that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, pretty cool, right?
I
I thought you guys had new stadiums.
Yeah, the bank.
no. We're just getting a new basketball. Yeah.
Is it basketball hockey?
No, I think it's going to be separate.
Wait, so
Where are the Flyers going?
I think they're staying.
Oh,
So Josh Harris is
I
building
am
this.
not
is this the
100%
New
sure on
Jersey
that.
thing?
No, that was the thing. Now that's no longer.
So they
It's not
building
going to
a
New Jersey.
basketball arena right next to the old basketball arena and keeping the old basketball arena?
I don't know. They change like literally every 15 minutes. First it was going to Center City, like in the middle of Center City, Philadelphia. Then it was going to Jersey. Then it was going back to where it originally was.
Listen, I agree with you. I feel like going forward, every new sports arena that gets built, don't fucking tell us anything until the ground is in the shovel. I'm so sick of it. Arlington Heights, Soldier Field, like all this back and forth.
It's hard to keep up with.
When you put a shovel into the ground, I will pay attention.
Yeah.
It's just, it's all dates that are just so far out there. And it's just,
How long does it take to make a stadium?
I think it's like 2 or 3. Well, football, I think it's like 2 or 3 years. 2 years.
Okay.
I also don't know.
It probably-
I got caught right there in a let me just try to say something confidently.
I would guess it matters what part of the country it's in too, because some parts of the country you can't
Permits.
build. You can't. Yeah, permits, and also you might have to sell the parking rights to UAE, and then that takes some time to get the deal done.
Okay, SoFi took 4 years. So
Okay.
I was off. So I feel
Well,
like
that's
3
also
years.
good weather.
Yeah,
So like if it's up north,
what
maybe longer.
And also they did weird shit with it.
yeah, they left the roof kind of
They
open.
built that like. Go ahead.
2031 is when, like that. Why do I care
Right.
about 2031 right
Agreed.
now? And it is still going to be shared with the Flyers.
Oh, okay. So you were long. How long does it? All right. So how long does it take to build a NBA arena?
3
Let's
years.
see. I'm gonna say that's probably 2. Yeah, 18 to 30 months.
Okay.
So that's about 2 years.
And the Sphere guy's doing this one.
The Sphere guy's doing it.
That's kind of cool.
Of Sphere fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means that Josh Harris has the Sphere guy on speed dial. So maybe
go.
my stadium might get done by the Sphere guy too.
you're gonna get sphered up.
Fuck yeah.
NFL stadiums are usually 2 to 4 years. U.S. Bank Stadium, I think that's Minnesota, right?
Yep.
That was 2.5 years. So SoFi did some weird shit.
Yeah.
They definitely tried to make it all L.A.
Well, Rich Eisen was personally approving each blueprint, so they
Right.
had to go back and forth.
And they also were like, let's make sure we build an indoor stadium that could be delayed by thunder and
Yeah.
lightning.
We were at the first game ever at US Bank.
We were.
Yeah, that's right.
Holy shit. That was a preseason game. Jeff Fisher.
Yep.
Yeah. Good call, Hank. Oh, my God. That Minnesota State Fair was a lot of fun. That was our milk chugging days.
Yeah.
We were just chugging milk all the time.
And chaw.
And chaw. Just like, oh, here's a video, but let us add some chaw and milk. We should do that. We should do that again once. Just a
10-year
little bit.
anniversary.
Yeah, just like a throwback. Like just one day do all of our
The Milk Mile.
get a goldfish for one day, kill it. Mm-hmm. It would probably die on its own because we have a bad history with it. All right. Do we have other sports stories?
You have a CJ Stroud update.
Oh,
So
tell me.
CJ Stroud, we were very concerned about his shoulder because he wasn't throwing, because he was dealing with general soreness. And he spoke to the media today, and he said, "I'm fine, man." So he's fine, man.
Oh, he's fine.
Man.
Man.
I'm fine, man. He said also, "I did not have surgery.
Oh,
I did not get surgery or anything like that." So just to go out there and say, like, it's the my I did not get surgery T-shirt has people asking a lot of questions that are already answered by
yes.
my T-shirt.
Yes. Okay, so he did not get surgery.
And he's fine,
Stop
man.
asking. Okay. Also, we saw Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers uniform.
What do you
First
think?
time. Helmet's still weird.
Yeah.
He said about playing in 2025, I don't need it for my ego. I don't need it to keep playing. This was a decision that was best for my soul.
Okay.
Huh. That feels like he does need it for
His ego?
maybe not ego, but he said I don't need it to keep playing. That feels like you do because your soul needs you to play.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, I would say so.
Also, Jair Alexander got cut. Mark Murphy just probably the meanest quote ever when he said, "We're used to not having him."
What kind of facts?
Yeah, very big fact.
And then they asked Myles Garrett about Aaron Rodgers in the division. He said, "I think it's a good opportunity to put him in the graveyard."
Oh.
So I like this.
Also, Aaron Rodgers has been married for a couple months.
Yeah, apparently he's got
He confirmed it's a wedding ring on his finger. How long has he been married? Been a couple months.
okay, good for him.
Is he married to the game or is he married to another human being?
Love is love.
Love is love.
No,
Also,
I personally go with the no girls aspect for my quarterbacks.
the Jared Carabas, married to the game.
Yeah.
He wore a ring for a while. I also got a little excited because they did announce the first game day, so it was just like, hey, week 1's coming soon. Lee Corso.
It's gonna be Ohio State.
in Columbus against Texas. But it was just like, oh yeah, football is. I'm not wishing away the summer. People get mad when I do countdowns for football. But
No,
I love it.
You can appreciate the summer while also being like, I can't wait for football, which is kind of a part of the summer.
Right. I can't wait for football. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I've been kind of daydreaming about it. Whenever I tweet, I can't wait for college football. That's the only thought in my head at that moment when I tweet it. That's what it pops in my head randomly. It's usually like it's nice outside, just driving. Like, man, could be better. Football.
I'll tell you who looks good in a Steelers uniform is DK.
DK does.
DK looks like
Looks fierce.
he was born a Steeler.
He looks fierce. Zach, do you have a college football team?
So I didn't go to a university big enough that would have a team that would play. I do, as a child, we would root for the Miami Hurricanes, but I would like to say any team coming out of the state of Florida, when they progress, I do like to see the state win.
Okay.
Rooting for the state.
That was a tough year a couple years ago. Remember they lost, like, there was that first weekend ever that all the Florida teams lost?
There's quite a few of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zach,
We catch a pop.
let's do an all-time ranking of Florida football teams.
Okay. 1-1, I'm going to go with Tim Tebow Gators.
No, I mean just like the schools.
Oh,
that was
gotcha.
good.
Okay.
That was good. You
Yeah,
were
yeah.
ready to go.
Okay.
We're stress testing you.
All right, so one, I'm just going to go, I like my Miami Hurricanes. As of recently, they're pretty sure they had the most NFL athletes to the league ever for quite a long time there. Then second, I'm going to go with the Florida Gators. I'll go second, Florida State. Shout out my brother, graduate, Big D. Shout out to him. Florida Gators third, and then I'll go Florida Gulf Coast fourth.
FGCU.
FGCU.
Dunk City.
Wow.
All
What
right.
about UCF, Blake Bortles?
UCF, cool campus. Shout out Blake.
Okay, nice. All right, let's do hot seat chill throne. Then we got 2 unbelievable interviews coming up, and we'll finish up with guys on chicks. Okay, before we get to hot seat chill throne, listen, guys, you got to watch the new show Stick on Apple. I watched it. It is awesome. There's 3 episodes out right now. They say it's never too late for a comeback, even if it's a long shot. From the home of Ted Lasso comes Stick, a new Apple original series starring Owen Wilson as a has-been golf pro and up-and-coming prodigy teaming up for one last swing at glory. Stick tells the story of Price Cahill, a former legend with no career, no prospects, and nothing left to lose until he meets a hot-headed 17-year-old golf phenom named Santi, who's all talent but no discipline with nothing to lose. Price offers his experience, but does Santi want it? Joined by Price's old caddy, Mitz, and Santi's mom, Elena, the unlikely crew set their sights on the U.S. amateurs and the only thing in their way, themselves. It's a journey filled with a few blow-ups, a few breakthroughs, and a whole lot of mulligans. Don't miss this comedy about life and other hazards, starring Owen Wilson, Peter Dager, Mark Maron, Mariana Trevino, Lily Kay, Judy Greer, and Timothy Oliphant. It is awesome. I watched the first 3 episodes. It's perfect. Golf. It's like golf is hot right now, and Owen Wilson is the best. It's good to have Owen Wilson back out there. So Stick, stream the new series June 4th on Apple TV Plus, and we're also brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. Body Armor, listen, it is hot seat chill throne presented by Body Armor. Body Armor Sports Drink this summer. Cool off with Body Armor Chill, a bold new way to hydrate with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. Enjoy a new refreshing cooling sensation in 3 impossibly cold flavors: frozen berry, frozen cherry, and frozen orange. Available for a limited time. Grab yours at 7-Eleven or a store near you. Look at this. Bang. Chill. Frozen orange. Oh, so good. I'm a frozen cherry guy. That's just me. Okay. Hot seat chill throne. Henry.
My hot seat's Terry McLaurin.
Oh. Okay.
What's that?
I don't understand. You know, the Commanders had such a great year. They got a young quarterback. You would think they'd be excited to return and go after that Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I'm just hearing rumors from everyone, Steelers fans, Jets fans. It seems like they all think they're getting Terry McLaurin, and I can't figure out why.
Are the Steelers and Jets fans, are they in this room with you right now?
Well, I spent about 5 hours with Jersey Jerry yesterday.
Okay.
And then today, before we recorded, memes was just like Terry McLaurin, Jet.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
why would they even think how is that even possible?
Okay,
How
what's
is that
the new
even
deal?
possible?
Hank, this is, I know it's your first season watching football. Sometimes receivers, they want more money. Because if you play really well, you get paid more money. Mm-hmm. And so
why
Terry,
would the Commanders give that to him?
I think they're going to give him that money. Let's do a visualization. Put yourself in Terry McLaurin's shoes.
Okay.
You've been in the NFL
Close your eyes. Close
for
your
a
eyes.
long time. You are Terry McLaurin right now.
Mm-hmm.
Been in the NFL for a long time. You just played last season with the only good quarterback you've ever had in your entire life. Do you want to leave and then go somewhere else with not so great a quarterback?
Right.
You don't.
No, I don't.
You
I
don't.
don't.
You
I
don't.
don't. I don't.
So Terry wants to stay. The Commanders want to keep him. You just want the most money you can get. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening. It's called a holdout in sports.
He wants money.
So he's coming back.
He's coming back.
They just got to pay him.
Yeah.
He wants his money.
He'll be back. If Terry McLaurin is not a Commander next year,
Uh-oh.
I was about to say
what's
something. I was about to say something dumb.
They got to pay him.
Yeah, they got to pay him.
That's all. They got to pay him.
They're going to pay him. I think the Trey Hendrickson situation is a little bit different.
Yeah. They got to pay him.
So they're going to.
Yeah,
He'll be a
They're
commander.
going to pay him.
He's going to be
Yeah.
commander, guaranteed.
Yeah. We have. Yeah, this is just part of. The spring, late spring,
He's
summer.
not, do you think he's mad about Debo? Or should be excited about Debo?
I think he's excited about.
Yeah, he's
Debo.
excited about Debo. I think he's mad that he wants to get paid more. It's nothing. It's nothing
he's fine.
personal.
He's
It's
Gucci.
business.
It's
This is
Gucci.
sad. You trying to find drama, Hank.
It's business.
No,
Yeah.
I've been hearing, like, I made no sense to me when Jerry was saying it. Made no sense when Memes was saying, so I came to the source to figure it out. But that makes sense. He'll be a commander.
He wants more money.
No
yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed money. Wait, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Is he a commander or guaranteed money?
I personally guarantee that they're going to pay him more guaranteed money, and he's going to be a commander next year, and that's a guarantee.
Okay. What's your chill throne?
My chill throne is Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
We talked about it a lot on this show, the lawsuit
Tons.
and all that.
I remember
a couple
all of it.
shows. We
We did.
two times in a row.
We talked about it.
If they're okay, right? The two of them.
Yeah, the suit got thrown out. A judge threw the suit out,
Okay.
threw out the lawsuits, dealing a huge blow to the Baldoni camp.
Okay.
So the suit is over.
So they're back.
They're back.
Blake of the year.
They're back.
Blake of the year.
Okay.
Get
I
involved.
still don't fully understand the whole thing.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer guy, but I feel like they probably just had better lawyers.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna release a statement. Just be nicer. Be nicer to each other. And
Yeah.
that's just for. That's not talking to one side or the other. That's just blanket. Hey guys, cut it out. Be nicer.
Be a nice person.
That's my take on
Be
this.
a decent human.
It costs
Yeah.
$0 to be nice.
That's true.
I hope they learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah, be better.
Be better.
Be better.
We can all be better.
I expected more out of them. I'm just gonna leave that out there. I expected
Both
more
sides.
out of I just said them.
Them.
You don't know who them is. It could be talking about this. Could be. I just expected more out of them.
Same.
Okay.
I'm not taking a side.
I have not. Well, no, I'm not. I was gonna say I think I have, but I don't. I don't have.
Wait,
any.
so are Blake and Ryan, are they on the same side?
Yeah, they're married.
Okay.
So you'd hope so. Otherwise, that would be an awesome betrayal.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for one of them to flip over to the Baldoni camp
That'd
and
be
then
sick.
turn on their spouse.
Yeah.
That would
be
rock.
sick. Love is dead. Kind of moment.
But that would be nice.
Hank, did you get your Sydney Sweeney soap yet?
I did not.
Oh, this must be in the mail.
It's on the way.
Did you get some?
Yeah, he did. You know he did.
First in line.
You know he did.
Love that.
PFT.
I got Napoleon's hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the way.
Sick.
Do you think I could implant Napoleon's hair into my face
Yes.
as like
Yes.
a beard strand? Mm-hmm. That would rock. My hot seat is golfers.
Oh.
Golfers are on the hot seat because I saw we're starting to get the content that we predicted would happen from the
Yes.
U.S. Open of like, holy shit, this course is going to be impossible. One was just a picture of a 289-yard par 3, which is awesome.
Insane.
Can we bet on the winning golfer to have a score that's over par?
Yes.
I
I
wanna-
mean, yeah, you can. There's gonna be listed in DraftKings. There will be like a winning score.
I want to bet on winning score over par. I think this U.S. Open is going to the course officially. I've seen enough of the content where now I fear this course.
Is it bad that you don't want root for favorites? Obviously, I would love to see our guy Brooks do well. I'm gonna bet on him, but I kind of want to see Scotty just dominate again. Like I'm in Scotty zone where it's like if he just keeps just kicking the shit out of everyone, that would be awesome. What are you looking at, Hank?
Any player to be bogey free through 72 holes. What do you think the odds are for that? I think this is plus 150,000.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
that's
it's bad bet.
impossible.
$2 to win 3,000.
Yeah, that's an impossible
Bad bet.
That bet will be done by like halfway through Thursday. But I am rooting for Scotty. Does that make me lame? I don't know. I'm kind of in the greatness mode of him.
I like rooting for greatness,
Yeah.
but I also like rooting to see greatness fail at the last second.
Who would be your second pick? Because like I think tell me if I'm wrong, Hank, you're looking at it right now. The odds are Scotty's the favorite, then it's Bryson, then it's Rory, and I don't want to root for Rory or Bryson.
Rory's given up. He doesn't care anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that a fact?
He said it after when he was doing media last week. He was like, "Yeah, it's after I won the Grand Slam, it's harder to practice as hard."
Oh man,
Which is fair, but also it's like
Mentally.
he's
me.
jacked.
I win the Grand Slam. I'm going even harder.
Scotty,
the
Bryson,
beginning.
John Rahm, Rory, Xander.
Okay. All right, Xander.
Xander would be
Xander would
nice.
be awesome.
Matt
I root for Xander.
Brooks would be nice.
Brooks would be awesome.
Brooks would be awesome.
If Max was in, he would win.
Yeah, but absolutely. He just ran out of time.
Yeah, if Jake Knapp was in, he'd probably win too.
That's a fact. All right, yeah, so I'm excited to watch golf.
Yeah, me too.
And also we get the Father's Day U.S. Open, which is great because I'm just going to be like, my Father's Day gift is I want to watch the U.S. Open.
Yep.
That's it.
Then my cool throne is TJs who have a love-hate relationship with Pittsburgh. So TJ Watt is one of them. I think he's gone. I'm hearing he's going to be a commander.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're going to, Hank, are you listening?
TJ Watt.
He just reversed it.
So check this out,
He just
Hank.
reversed the
TJ
Terry
Watt,
McLaurin
he's been a great player on the Steelers. Haven't really accomplished that much besides making the playoffs recently.
Every year.
He's going to cost a lot of money. I think he's unhappy, and I think he wants to go.
Who's going to pay him?
I think
Commanders
the
don't
Commanders
have money.
I think the Commanders.
Commanders.
The Commanders have money.
They're not even paying Terry.
So
we had TJ Watt. It was TJ Watt, Terry McLaurin, and then there was one other holdout.
Trey
that was
Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson, which
Yeah.
that one is, he's been holding out forever.
yeah, that one to me seems fractured. I do think that TJ is going to go back to Pittsburgh. The only other place I
He's
could
a
imagine.
one jersey guy.
I could imagine TJ Watt wearing a Green Bay Packers jersey.
Yeah, we said that a couple weeks ago. It feels like that would be the only one that would make sense. Oh, also Jalen Ramsey, who, okay.
He might get traded too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other TJ Oshie, who has had some ups and downs with Pittsburgh as a Washington Capital. He retired yesterday.
Oh.
And he retired at the fountain in Georgetown, where he went for a swim after the Stanley Cup. Now,
Captain America.
I think Captain America, go back and watch the highlights of him competing against Russia in those Olympics, 2014, I think.
the best.
Where it was the Penguins coach, and he brought TJ because he's like, one of these games is going to go into shootouts, and I'm just going to run TJ Oshie out there against Bob, and it was just TJ dominating Bob to win that game
Over and over and over.
which was
again.
great. Yeah, it was great to watch. But TJ didn't play this year. I thought that he was probably going to retire like 2 years ago, actually.
Yeah.
But he finally made it official. So great player, Captain America. Thank you for your service, TJ.
Okay, and then your chill throne.
That was my chill throne.
Oh, that was your chill throne.
Chill throne.
Was TJ.
TJs who have a
TJs.
love-hate relationship
Yeah.
with Pittsburgh.
All right, my hot seat is the Washington Wizards.
Okay.
You ready for this? Oh, wait. Yeah. The Washington Wizards.
All right.
You ready for this? So this actually is kind of a combo hot seat for the Pacers. So the game 3 is Wednesday night. Did you know that a former Wizards player has won each of the last 8 championships? And there is one singular ex-Wizard in these finals on the Pacers, Thomas Bryant. So they are now, the Wizards are on the hot seat. They got to win this to keep the streak alive. So 2017, Sean Livingston and JaVale McGee. 2018, Livingston and McGee. 2019, Raptors, Jody Meeks. 2020, Dwight Howard, McGee, and Markieff Morris. 2021, Bobby Portis. 2022, Gary Payton, the second, Otto Porter Jr., and Chris Chiozza. And then 2023, the Nuggets had KCP, Jeff Green, Ish Smith, and Thomas Bryant. In 2024, Hank, Kristaps. So now you're on the hot championship DNA in Washington.
It's like the NBA's farm system.
Yeah.
That's where you go to learn how to win.
Yeah.
Because first you have to learn how not to lose.
Right.
And then the Lakers, when they almost beat the Nuggets that one year, and they would have won the championship.
When they lost 4-1.
Except they lost 4-1 in the series.
Yeah.
They had Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, these are great, all the greatest teams of the last, 6 years, 7 years?
This is a fun little wrinkle, streak that we, the Pacers and the Wizards are on the hot seat.
So, but if the Thunder win,
No one.
no dice.
No one.
No dice with them. And then that means maybe Chris Paul, championship loading for next year. Wizards
good.
legend.
Yeah, well, no, it would break the streak if the Thunder.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. Yep.
Yeah, so we'd have to start a new streak. My cool throne is the Detroit Tigers because they're really good at baseball. We're going to have Tarik Skubal on in a minute, which was awesome in studio. But the Tigers are averaging over 26,000 fans per game, 40% jump from this time last season. It's partially credit, Tigers fans showing up, but also a reminder that anytime a baseball owner says no one shows up, if you put a good product on the field, fans will show up. And I hate that when that happens in sports where an owner will be like, well, we got to move because the fans don't support us. No, you've been like gutting the team and gutting the city for years and years and years.
Yeah, because you can make money as an owner with a bad team.
Yeah.
And so a lot of owners are just like, I want to see my investment increase. I don't really give a shit about the product. That's always bullshit.
Did we talk about it on this show? I can't remember if I think they should have a new rule in all sports that call it 5 years. If you don't make the playoffs in 5 years, automatic sale.
I like that.
Like whatever the threshold is, that would be awesome because relegation is never going to come to American sports. But if you could relegate owners, that would be sick.
That's probably for the same reason not going to come to American
Of course,
sports.
it's not. But I'm just talking about dumb rules that I'm going to start. Next time we have a commissioner on, I'm going to start saying it to him. But like maybe not playoffs. Maybe you have to be over 500 because obviously playoffs are tough to get to in certain sports. But some type of rule that if you don't field a competent team once at least every 5 years, you automatically have to sell. And maybe we say that you have to sell like 15% off,
or you get suspended as an owner.
Whatever it may be.
You don't get to hang out in your suite. You have to pay for if you're an owner and your team doesn't make the playoffs in the first 5 years. You have to sit in the stands.
Right.
You're not allowed to sit away from the people
because like baseball does the floor, the spending floor now, but that still doesn't incentivize them to be good. It just incentivizes them that they have to spend a certain amount of money. So. I don't know. Just a rule out there. Gonna throw it out there. Gonna pitch to people. What are you looking up?
The salary cap floor.
Yeah,
in
I
baseball.
know baseball has one now. I can't remember what it is. Zach, are you Googling, Zach?
I think they're talking about it.
I thought there was one.
No, because in order to have a floor, you have to have a cap.
Oh,
that's what they're.
That's right.
That's what they're negotiating right now.
That's right.
And I do think the salary cap floor has a possibility to pass. I think that there's a good chance it could pass. Because of this problem that we have.
So we need the floor.
But right now...
It was... NBA is the one.
Yes, right now...
NBA has a floor.
Right now in baseball, the owners don't have to spend anything if they don't want to.
That's right.
Which is why you get teams like the...
Spending nothing.
The Oakland A's.
Yeah. The baseball one that I was thinking of is they have changed it so that you can't tank every year and get the first pick.
Yes.
They move where you are in the order, but the NBA salary... floor does exist, but yeah.
So we might.
How about it should just be owners? If your team sucks every single year, you have to sell the team.
Yeah,
and we get to decide the price.
Yeah, and don't make your money back.
Don't make your money back. Oh, that would be sick. Because then you buy a team and you're just like, I have to do it. There's pressure.
If you don't make the playoffs within the first 5 years of buying a team, you have to sell the team, and the max you can get is exactly what you paid for the team. And that means that all the money, which is probably not that much if your team sucks, all the money that you've spent in the interim, that's all just lost money.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
And also, think about how thrilling it would be if you root for like a Colorado Rockies and you're on year 5 and you haven't been to the playoffs or, say, be over 500. Like, now that season becomes very interesting.
Yes.
Because you might be rooting... You're rooting for your team to maybe win some games, but you're also rooting for the automatic sale to take place.
And then all of a sudden, some shitty teams will become massive, massive buyers.
Yeah.
At the trade deadline and get like 1 year rentals, and then they could go back to being shitty out. But still,
at least they'd be good for a little bit.
It'd be interesting to watch.
I think we need this rule. We're going to pitch it to Adam Silver when he comes on again. Rob Manfred. Just forget salary cap floor, ownership relegation. Maybe they have to go own like a AAA team.
I like that.
That would
bump them down.
You just relegate the owners.
I do think making them sit in the stands with the fans would go a long way. Have them face the music
every single game.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Zach, you have a hot seat cool throne?
Yes, sir. I can do that for you.
Yeah,
I got one for you.
Let's go.
Hit us.
And so hot seat, I do have Tim Cook from Apple is in the hot seat today.
Oh.
For me. iOS 26 previews are coming out, and it looks atrocious. So I don't know if you guys have seen any of the.
No, what's going on with it?
So it looks like finger painting and a little bit of like abstract art everywhere. It's the themes is like it looks like painting glass. So like they're stacking the notifications up over. You can't see anything.
Oh yeah,
all the notifications are clear.
That's weird.
They're stacking clear notifications on clear wallpapers.
I'm also in the zone where my phone is just breaking because the new phone's coming out.
What are they trying to get you? What are they trying to condition us to do here? Why are they doing this new thing?
What is this?
I just think it's too far of a reach. They're like, oh, the people are gonna love this. We need to be more innovative, and they're just taking away all things you can see. It's just clear. It's just unusable. It's very frustrating.
Are they trying to make us?
So Tim Cook should go.
Are they trying to make us hate the iPhone so that we'll be more likely to get a chip implanted in our brain?
An Apple chip in the brain?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's coming, dude.
Are you guys down for a chip?
No, I don't want it, but it's coming.
gonna happen.
And I'm gonna have to get
And
it.
then when
chip up?
when I get it, I'll be like, how did I ever live without this chip?
yeah, chip to death.
So it's chip or be left behind. We have
Correct.
no choice. We just have to chip.
Correct.
Everybody chips in.
Um,
Would you get the chip?
I'd have to get the chip. Yeah.
we'd make.
I wouldn't want to. Okay. Yeah.
We'd
then I'd
probably
get
make you get
yeah,
the
if it
chip
was-
first to see how it
Test
goes.
chip?
Yeah. Yeah, you're
I'll
a guinea
test
pig.
chip.
Yeah.
I can do that.
That's a good hot seat, though. I didn't even know they were doing the iOS. So is this automatically updating our phones overnight?
If you have auto updates on, maybe if you have storage, yes. If you don't have storage, probably not. If you don't have auto updates on, no.
What was
so you
the-
can't opt out.
What was the reaction like when they unveiled this? Because I love watching the Apple conferences where they like they show like a pair of glasses on the screen and then everyone like claps and they're like, oh my god, they clap for products like little seals.
So in the room, they're all going crazy for Tim Cook and Apple, but the response online is just like, we don't know about this, Tim.
Okay. We got a
Not
bully.
looking too good.
Listen, we're going to have to bully. It's facts.
I'll
All
bully
right.
him.
What's your Chiltron?
My chill throne for today is DDG, who's a YouTuber, former flex rapper, current Twitch streamer.
Okay, I know what all those words mean, but I looked at Hank and he was like, what are those? So what's a flex rapper?
Yeah, let's start with Flex
For
Rapper.
Hank.
Flex rapper would be
YouTube rapper.
So the flex position, not always rapping, sometimes rapping.
Oh,
Tight
flex
end
like
wide
it-
receiver?
Yeah.
Flex okay,
got it.
YouTuber one day might go in a booth, do some
Content
raps.
creator that does rap.
Slash.
Got it.
Yeah.
Slash, perfect. That would have made more sense. Yes.
Slash, like Cordell Stewart. Yeah.
And
Okay.
so now he gave us a little peek behind his analytics recently, reporting 12.3 million for the month of May between ad revenue, AdSense, Twitch Prime subs, Spotify streams, etc. And he's also been spotted quite a few times with Instagram sweetheart India Love recently.
Oh,
Okay.
Which is all time.
It is all time.
That's an
Absolutely.
all-time dog move by him?
All time.
Yeah.
Really?
Certified. Stamp it.
Are we
Yeah.
are we living vicariously through
A
him?
little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Certainly.
Massive dub. DDG.
All caps WDG. Shout out India Love.
Yeah.
Is India Love on your list?
She's like first round, second pick probably.
First round, second pick?
Oh,
Yeah.
so who's 1-1?
Yeah, who's won one?
1-1 probably be Tay Money, which is a Texas-based rap woman.
Oh, is this hot rappers or hot
That's hot women.
hot women?
That was hot women.
And
yeah.
what would your third pick be?
I don't have a theory off the top of my head. They'd be interchanging.
Who's on your Mount Rushmore of women? All time.
All in what facet?
It just
Whatever,
women. Just
open-ended.
women.
This is
Open-ended
not-
women?
Top 4 women. Not open-ended in that sense.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I understand. Kind of.
Open-ended top 4 women of all time.
This is it. We're about to give out Mount Rushmore season,
Okay.
so we got to stress test you.
All 4 women, top 4 women of all
Yep.
time in any capacity.
Any capacity.
There's
There's a lot.
there's a lot of women.
Is there? We want to pigeonhole this at all, or just straight?
I think
I
there's
know.
one that
No
you got to
pigeonhole?
make. There's one pick you got to make.
There's one I have to make.
Yeah. Your own mom. You have to pick your own mom.
Can she go on the Mount Rushmore?
Yes, yes.
Mom's 1-1.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay. If we're getting a little personal there, mom's 1-1.
Yep.
Every, and even if you guys pick mom, I'm taking mom as well.
Okay.
Sorry to overstep. So we'll do mom 1-1. We'll go.
Tay Money.
Not on the Mount Rushmore. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you can mix it up.
Yeah,
like
throw it
it's
out
open-ended.
there.
I had too much respect for my mother to put Tay Money next to her on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Would your mom get along with Tay Money?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not really sure. Don't know her well enough. Know my mom well enough, not Tay Money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, mom's up top 1-1. Other women, we got other. There's tons of other women, but
Yeah.
we put on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Are you Catholic?
No, I don't practice the Catholic religion.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you were thinking maybe Mary?
I was maybe Mary
Yeah.
trying to save you with God.
I appreciate that. Shout out to. I think Mary does great for. I think religion is great for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Mary. She's a good guide. So we can throw Mary on there. So my mom, Mary.
I think you go Mom, Mary, Tay Money, Susan B. Anthony. Done.
We'll swap that for Michelle Obama, and we're done.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
No, we'll go Susan B.
Yeah. Susan B.
B.
Well, I thought you were going to swap Tay Money for Michelle.
We're not swapping anybody.
No,
That's just-
Tay
we'll
Money's
go with
on.
that.
All right,
Okay.
that's a good Mount Rushmore.
right.
Your mom, Tay Money, Susan B. Mary.
And then if one of them does something to get canceled, we could replace them with Michelle.
Yeah.
Like if your mom said something, but then Michelle Obama goes on there.
We'll take Michelle out of the the flex spot, and we'll put the Little Debbie woman up there because I love those.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
that's a good pick. Good pick.
Okay, good job. That felt good. Stress testing Mount Rushmore.
Wendy's going to be upset.
Let's get to our interviews. We got Tarik Skubal and then the GOAT chess grandmaster Magnus Carlsen. Okay, before we get to our awesome interview with Tarik Skubal in studio, Shady Rays, you know that moment, the one where you realize you left your favorite sunglasses at the beach or on the roof of your car at a gas station 3 states away. Well, I've been there too, but then I found Shady Rays and it changed the game. These sunglasses are made for real life, seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive. And here's the wild part. If you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. So now I actually wear my sunglasses without fear. On hikes, at concerts, on the boat, whatever. It's about to be summer. You need your Shady Rays. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com. Use code PMT for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades are rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Go right now and get some Shady Rays and use that code PMT. We're also brought to you by our friends at Morgan & Morgan. Ever stood at the top of a towering water slide, heart pounding, and ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? One visitor found out the hard way. What was supposed to be a thrilling day at a popular Florida water attraction ended in a life-altering injury while riding one of the park's fastest slides. He was violently thrown from his tube, landing hard and suffering injuries that still affect him nearly 4 years later. That's when he turned to a law firm known for standing up to the biggest names in the business. The suit claims the slide's design, coupled with a lack of clear safety communication oversight, created a hazardous environment, especially for guests outside certain body specifications. Now this guest is living with permanent pain, scarring, and a drastically diminished quality of life, all from what was supposed to be a routine thrill ride. Because when safety isn't the top priority, fun can turn into something else entirely. Listen, there's a lot of things that we like to do outside. There's a lot of things we like to do that might be thrill-seeking. There's a lot of things we like to do in our day-to-day life. And if you get hurt, Morgan & Morgan is there for you. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over $25 billion recovered. They've been fighting for the people for over 35 years, helping over 500,000 clients get the compensation they deserve. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. With Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to get started, and their fee is free unless they win. Just visit forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law, #529. That's forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law, #529. This is a paid advertisement. Okay, here he is, Tarik Skubal. Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest, recurring guest. It is AL Cy Young winner, Tarik Skubal, Haas, #1 pitcher in baseball. Can I say that?
Right now?
Yeah.
You can say it. I won't say it. but you
Okay,
can say
well,
it.
I'm going to say it.
Cy Young winner.
Cy Young
That
winner.
sounds
So
good.
that's, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and you're also doing it again this year, like crushing it. So in studio, awesome to see you. Let's start with just pitching. Let's just go straight to pitching because last time you were on after you won the Cy Young, you were saying something. I think PFT asked a question about like getting it like going faster than like 102, and it's like you're like I'm kind of topped out at that. That's kind of what it is. You had a game this year where you had a complete game shutout where you went 103 in the ninth. How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I think, when I took the mound for the ninth inning and I'm going back out there, the whole stadium's kind of chanting your name, and you don't really think that, like when you're young, you don't think that that's a possibility to have that happen. So I just kind of took a moment and enjoyed it. And then the adrenaline like spiked big time. And then I got into an 0-2 count and I knew a fastball was coming. And I'm like, this is either going to be the hardest pitch of my life and be nowhere near the zone, and then I have to make another one, or this game's over. And it just so happened he swung. I mean, it wasn't really close to the zone, but he swung over it, and it just kind of, that is what it is.
It was an awesome moment. Also, did I read correctly? The pitch comm like didn't work in the ninth inning because it was so loud.
It was loud, yeah. So I have it on like, so it goes up to like 20 or whatever, and I have it on like 14 for most games. And then if you're in a dome, you turn it up a little bit because it's just naturally louder. But I had it on 14, couldn't hear a thing with 2 strikes there, and then I was, putting my glove over, still couldn't hear. turn it up to 20, and then it got quiet when that whole thing happened. And now I'm like, dude, I think he can hear what pitch is coming because it's so loud. But yeah, I mean, it was going to be a fastball, I think, no doubt. And then you just kind of let it rip, and that's what happens.
I think everybody knew what pitch was coming. It was like, you're going to reach back, you're going to throw as hard. That was the last pitch of the game, right?
Yeah.
You hit 103. Is that
102.6?
So
we
do
don't
we-
round up.
No, it's 103.
do we count that as
Yeah.
103?
Yeah.
I don't, but you guys can.
I count that as 103.
It showed 103 on the broadcast.
Yeah, it always rounds up for us, which is sweet.
Done.
Yeah, I love
103.
That.
That's
I
pretty
love that.
great.
You've been throwing less fastballs though. Has that been like a conscious? I mean, obviously less since when you first came in. I think you were throwing like half your pitches were fastballs. Now it's your changeup. Was that something in the offseason you're like, this is just a way I'm going to get even better?
Those are good questions for our catchers.
Good
Okay.
questions for
Because
the
I'm like,
catchers.
I don't shake a ton, and we go over game planning stuff, and you have a plan of what you want to do, and then the game tells you what you need to do. The lineup tells you, the at bats dictate what pitch is thrown, and our catchers do a great job. And if the changeup's working, and they're swinging and missing, and I'm getting a lot of positive results, I'm going to keep throwing it. And I think that's kind of where the uptick in usage is. And I get 9 righties a game damn near every time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need something to go to my arm side, so that way they're not just the ball just consistently coming into them. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the point of it.
I saw on the last pitch of the game, it looked like the leg kick was just as high as it normally is. Do they have advanced stats to show how high you're getting the leg?
I bet I could pull some Hawkeye data. It was
Yeah.
at home, so I bet I could pull something to see. But yeah, I mean, that's as hard as I can throw a baseball. No matter, you know how I said that last year? I actually think that's as hard as I can throw a baseball.
Yeah,
You
so
think
the
that's the
next
limit?
year you're going to come in and we're like, hey, remember when you threw 104 in the playoffs? And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that's the hardest I can throw.
Well, if I'm in the 9th inning in a playoff game, then that's something different.
Yeah.
I bet that would actually be harder than that. But
Or you were
there's
feeding
not
off.
many.
It was the adrenaline from the crowd.
No
when you were in
doubt.
the 9th inning.
No
So
doubt.
you just need the crowd to be exactly that loud, and you can keep dialing it up.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's 36,000. It's an 11:35 game. So like the fact that the fans showed up for an 11:35 game, I got a ton of respect for. And then you're doing something like that, and we just lost 3 to Cleveland in a row, and we're kind of trying to salvage a series. And there's a lot of kind of emotions that went into that game that made it special.
Sounds like you love Detroit.
I love Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah?
I do. Yeah,
Like for the rest of your life, love Detroit?
sure.
Like we could sign a contract right now. We'll only take 5%. I think Scott Boras, we've met him. We've been to his offices.
Yeah.
PFT took a
Beautiful
shit in
office.
his offices.
I took a big shit in his office.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not in his
I
actual
mean, I'm drinking
office.
a coffee right now. I think I might take a shit here if I'm being honest. It's about that time.
No,
in the
but that's
morning.
that's a sign of dominance. I waltzed into his office. I took a dump, and I feel like now
Yeah.
Scott Boras looks up to me as a man.
Yeah.
He respects you for sure.
He
Has to.
respects me.
Has
So
to.
we could get this done today.
Yeah.
You guys walk in and see all the baseballs and
Oh
stuff?
yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
like a he's like a Darth Vader of baseball. When you walk in, you're just like, holy shit, this office is impressive. So, real question, and then we'll do the negotiation. Is it difficult sometimes to be playing in a season like this, being like, there's a lot of money coming? Like it's like you're human. You know what I mean? You can't
doubt.
not think about it at all. But are you able to like compartmentalize?
Yeah, I think when our team's doing what we're doing, I mean, we got 40 wins or whatever. It's the whole contract and money stuff kind of goes to the side because we're winning so much, and that's the ultimate goal, is to win. You want to be the last team winning, with a win in the season. So it makes it easier in that aspect, and last year when we traded away guys, it did become a little bit more difficult to pitch because I knew that I was chasing down an award and stuff, and then we went on that run, and it kind of took all that shit away. So
Right.
winning, I say this a lot, winning cures everything. Winning it's a Band-Aid that, it doesn't matter if it's a bullet hole, whatever, it cures everything, and you just kind of go play baseball. So that's kind of I think winning it takes a lot of that stuff off your mind as a player.
Dumb question maybe, but because the season is so long in baseball, what's a losing streak that like, okay, it becomes a bummer? Because obviously you can lose 2 games in a row, you can lose 3 games in a row. That's just baseball. Is there a number where you're like, well, this fucking sucks?
I was actually joking around this year when we got swept by the Dodgers to start the season. I was like, I walked to AJ, I go, hey Skip, are we ever going to win again?
Yeah, right.
3 is a long time, but like, I mean, 3 happens. We just did it to Cleveland, and then we rattled off 5 straight wins. So the ebbs and flows of baseball are a little bit different. But I mean, if you're losing 4 in a row, if you get swept by a team for 4 games, that's that was a long series, you know, and it's half a week of games playing, you know, 4 or 5. I've been on teams that have lost 13 in a row, and that's like
tough.
legitimately miserable.
Yeah.
You know, you don't even want to go to the yard anymore. You're like, when's the last bus? When's the first bus out of here? Can I get treatment during the game so I don't have to watch us lose again? Losing sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there always some guy that's like trying to lighten the mood in the clubhouse, and they try it in different ways if it's a losing streak, and at some point you just have to like stop trying to like joke your way out of it? Yeah. What is that like?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like when you start losing, guys tend to try a little bit harder, and then you realize like that's probably the wrong thing to do. Maybe try a little bit less and just play the game of baseball, no stress. And I think that we have guys in our clubhouse that keep it light. You know, Jake Rogers is like that guy, you know, where our team is funny too. You know, Torque's one of those guys too, where he could have a horrible at bat, you know, like horrible at bat, and come in and be like, I saw him well, you know, like that's like, that's who he is. Like Greeny yesterday in the first inning, I think we hit like 2 homers or whatever, but he's the one who struck out in between the homers. And he comes in and he's like as happy as anyone. And he's like, yeah, I saw him well too. But I'm like, dude, you struck out.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but I saw him well.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's that running joke, you know, or when our team has a horrible swing, you know, we'll scream to the umpires, like, check him. No, like, ask for help. You know,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like, no, he's not even close to hitting it. So our team does a good job of keeping it pretty light, and we enjoy it.
I feel like that's important in baseball too.
No doubt.
Is
You
even
play
if
every day.
you have a bad at bat and you say like I saw it well, even if you're joking and you're lying about it, just saying it out loud, like there's a part of you that might believe it, and it's
Yeah.
such a mental thing where it's like, okay, I'm still in a positive mindset. So next
Yeah.
time I go up, I'm not going to be bummed out thinking about all the negative things that could happen.
No doubt. I think it's funny as pitchers, you know, we'll throw a pitch that's 40 feet, right? And I bet everyone watching is like, how does a professional athlete do that? And then our dugout is probably screaming like, hey, you can't get beat there. You know,
Yeah.
great pitch.
Yep.
You can't get beat there. They can't swing. Or you throw a fastball to the back of the, you know, off the netting over them. It's like, hey, you can't get beat there, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You can't get beat. They can't put the bat on it. So,
Yeah. If
hey,
this
whatever.
was-
On to the next pitch.
I
you know?
feel like I'd get my ass kicked right away because someone would strike out and be like, that was a great cut. Like, just keep saying that over and over.
No,
great cut.
No,
dude.
it's hilarious, dude. I mean, there's moments where maybe bigger moments. These things kind of tend to happen earlier in the game. Later in the games, it's a little bit, you know, you kind of pick and choose when you're going to mess around. But and then score of the game kind of dictates that. You know, if we're getting our ass beat, like I'm not gonna. And when our guy check swings and it's a bad swing, I'm not gonna yell out like, "Hey, check," you know, the umpire or whatever. But I think that's our team's fun in that aspect too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we're young, we have fun, we enjoy it. You know, you have a bad swinging bunt that's like goes 5 feet foul, you'll hear someone from the dugout like straighten it out. You know, I think that's hilarious to me, and we just kind of keep that same vibe.
Yeah, I heard a nasty rumor about you. Well, first I'm going to give you some credit because in your last 10 games, you're 5-0. Your ERA is 1.66. You've got
0.03 from being really good.
0.03 from being really
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
Really good.
Yeah.
89 strikeouts and 3 walks
Yeah.
in your last 10 games. 89 strikeouts and 3 walks. That's crazy. We want to give you all the credit in the world. Again, we want to build you up. We want to see you get this massive contract. Hopefully stay in Detroit for a while. But I came across something very concerning about you.
Oh no.
You cheat at crossword puzzles.
Oh,
Dude, they're fucking hard.
we got a guy here who just got exposed for cheating at crossword puzzles. A big deal.
It's a big deal, yeah.
But do you feel accomplished? Do you feel like you did something if you cheat at the crossword puzzle?
Yeah, I try my best to do it by myself every day. Right? I try my best to do it.
How fast do you cheat? Like, what
So
point are you going to cheating?
Okay, yeah. So if I'll go through every single clue, right? And then, you go through the crossword. Sometimes they flow, like you'll have the top left and it'll flow to the middle and you get some letters and it'll flow to the bottom right. And then you kind of got to start taking some shots in the dark on the bottom left or top right.
Yeah.
And once I get to a point where I literally don't know how to do anything, I've read every clue twice. I've done it all twice. That's when I usually call Jake Rogers. I'm like, hey, Jake, can you change one of these clues? Look at what I have. What's the most important word for me to go forward? What's going to give me the most? Usually it's it'll be like something down because it'll give you the start for like 5 other words.
Yeah.
And he'll just change the clue for me. And then I'm like, oh yeah, way better clue for me. And I'll write it in, and then I'll go. And if I get stuck again, then, I'll ask again. But that's kind of the.
Oh, so
the
you
gist of it.
don't Google it. You just ask him.
Well, sometimes I have
sounds
to
like
if
you
he's not
Google it.
around.
Yeah,
if he's not
yeah.
around, I have to. Like if I can't find him,
And is
I
he
need
the
to get
best
it done.
at it's crosswords?
On our team, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's the
Like-
worst, Torkelson.
I don't even think Torque could start it.
No, right. That's what I'm saying.
Jackson Jobe couldn't do it either.
Torkelson would look at it just being like, "What is this? What is this witchcraft?"
He's like,
Yeah.
is this algebra?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of guys that that couldn't do it because you got to know the lingo and the jargon. You know, there's a lot of words
Yeah.
that repeat every day.
Yeah.
You know, if they ever talk about a cookie, it's an Oreo. You know, if they ever have a lake in there, it's Erie, just because there's vowels and stuff in it. So,
Wait, are we talking about the full crossword or are we talking about the mini?
well, the crossword mini is pretty easy.
Yeah,
right?
okay. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that we're not
No,
cheating
we're talking
on the
about
mini.
The
USA
New York
Today,
Times.
right?
Yeah. Is it USA Today or New
Well,
York Times?
the New York one I think is really hard, and the LA one is like that one is fucking impossible.
Okay.
like you can't do it. You can't do it.
Yeah. Well, I can't do any of them.
Yeah, but I think it's USA Today. I think that's the
Okay.
one that.
That one I think has pictures in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy.
It's like an IHOP menu.
Let me
It's
pull
like,
this
what
up.
is this?
I have
And
it
it's
on my phone. I
It's
have it on my
a
phone.
picture of pancake.
So that way on off days I can do it.
You got to get a newspaper in
No,
Detroit.
it's USA Today. There's no
Okay.
yeah.
pictures.
Yeah. No, there's pictures. Oh, we're looking at it right now.
This is not pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Look.
what is this? And it's a picture of Snoopy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, this
Yeah.
is USA Today.
It's like this color. And it's just
Three-letter
You guys
word.
don't know what you guys.
3-letter word for
We need to
can-
print it out, and I want to see how far you guys can
You're
get.
literally just coloring a Cheesecake Factory menu every day.
Yeah,
And being
yeah,
like, wow,
yeah.
Jake Rogers, I need your help.
We got to get a newspaper in Detroit on game like days that you're starting to make the world's easiest crossword puzzle
Ooh.
and put it out just so that you can get in, get out. Do you do it
Yeah.
just on days that you're starting, or do you do it every day?
I try to do it every day. Sometimes schedule dictates if I can do it before my day starts versus after my day starts. But I usually try to carve out, 20 or 30 minutes to do it. But that's, sometimes if I can't get it in 20 minutes, you're pissed off too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't even worth it anymore. But
Probably sharpens your mind. Probably kind of wakes you up a little.
I don't. You'd think I'd have a sharper mind, but I don't think that there's much
was trying to give you a
positive
compliment,
stuff
yeah.
going on for me.
You should actually. All right, so let's talk about the contract. Maybe start doing the LA crossword and then throw that in that big Boris binder, being like,
Yeah.
this guy's actually the smartest pitcher that's ever been created.
No,
Look at how many times he's done the crossword puzzle.
We could get 4 guys that do the crossword every day, the USA Today one, and we could all sit at a table and try to do the LA one, and we won't get it.
Okay, so what you're saying is the bright lights of LA and New York are too bright for
Are
you.
too big for me. No
Yeah,
doubt.
okay.
No doubt.
You're more,
That's exactly what that was. Yeah.
Okay. 10 years, 425.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
I feel like if you get anything over that, you should probably kick a little piece to us.
If you guys have any
Yeah, we'll
sort of
tweet about when
influence-
your contract's up. Like we'll tweet about you nonstop, being like this guy. We could just say he needs 12,700.
Yeah,
we
could-
anchor the negotiation there.
Yeah, we could negotiate some stuff. You'd have to
Yeah.
talk to Boris about it, but
Let's be
Yeah.
honest. What we can do is, after every single good pitch you throw, after every single quality start you have, we'll be your propaganda department and just raise awareness of how incredible the season that you're having truly is. And then
So
I
that would
think
be huge.
you already
Yeah.
said 10 years for 40.
425.
425 would make you happy.
Feels good.
So anything
Yeah.
beyond that, you're just being greedy.
Yeah,
so,
you are.
So you can
You gotta give it back
It's
to
all
us.
expendable that you can cut to
well,
part of my
if
tip.
I get above 425, then you guys can have the
Yeah. Okay,
Right, that's
deal.
fair.
Yeah,
deal.
that sounds- that
I think
sounds
we need
really
to go to
good.
Boris's office and just like sit down with him and be like, "Listen, Scott, we've taken a shit in your office somewhere we didn't flush. We're not going to tell you until
Next time,
you
upper
cue
decker
us
it.
in." Yeah,
I will.
yeah.
I will.
Decker.
I will
Yeah.
upper deck him if he doesn't cut me
Yeah.
in. That's,
There
that's a
are
promise.
multiple shits in your office right now. None of them been flushed.
Yeah.
If you want, if you want us to leave, get us in on this deal.
Yeah.
All right, so back to your complete game. It's been a story this year. You've been pulled a bunch before 100 pitches. You did. I did a bad job of saying the complete game. It was technically a Maddox, which is one of the coolest things when you pitch a complete game under 100 pitches. I think that's like the height of efficiency. Maybe cooler than a no hitter. Just gonna throw that out there. So you did it under 100 pitch. No,
No.
I mean no hit. Everyone throws a no hitter.
No, that's not true.
There's so many no hitters.
There's
Yes,
not-
there
there's
are.
not.
There was a
There's
no hitter
not.
in the World Series a couple years ago.
No
You remember
hitters
that?
nonstop. Like
Wasn't that Roy Halladay?
It was a Max. You remember that game?
yeah, Max. Who threw the
There
no
was a
hitter in
no-hit-
the
wasn't
World
there a
Series?
no hitter in the World Series a few years ago?
I think Roy Halladay did it in the postseason.
It was
game.
the,
That was insane.
But this was I
Who
forget
was
who was
it?
playing.
Your mic's not on.
Max knows him.
That didn't count.
No, well, did you get any hits? Did the
No,
Phillies
that
get any
didn't count.
hits?
That didn't count.
Did the Phillies get a hit?
Combined no hitters do not count.
Does a combined no hitter count?
Those aren't as cool as doing it
Yeah.
yourself.
That's fine,
But it's a no-hitter, right?
But ask Max
Yeah,
a
I
simple
don't-
question: Did the Philly ask Max if the Phillies got any hits in the game?
the Phillies got no hit in a World Series game.
It didn't count. Combined no hitters don't count.
It didn't count. He
yeah,
just said
but
combined no hitters don't count.
He's saying combined no hitters don't count. But ask him again: Did they get a hit in the game?
When was this?
in the World Series.
This is
What year?
What year was it, Max?
it was the year against the Astros. I don't
The
know.
Astros,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Let's see.
hit in that.
Yeah,
Why
they
do I
had
not
no
remember that?
hits in the game.
Well, that's because it was a combined no hitter. No one cares about combined no hitters.
Yeah, combined no hitters aren't as cool.
Yeah.
as
but
doing
still,
it,
if
so.
you said, did they get a hit?
This
and
is
the
like a
answer is
perfect
no.
example of why it doesn't count.
But is it
He
a
doesn't
no
even
hitter?
remember.
It's a no hitter
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a no hitter,
because
but
they got no hits.
no, yeah, I mean, you're right,
Right,
But it's,
right. It's pretty simple.
it's not as cool as a starter doing it himself.
That's fine. We never disagreed with that.
Yeah, but the fact is, no hits. Max calls it a zero hitter, which is just insane levels of cope.
Yeah. All right. So
I think that makes sense.
Either way, the Maddox was awesome. So, did you talk to AJ Hinch after when you pitched your complete game? Did he say like, "Hey, if you had gone over 100, we would have had to pull you"?
No, I mean, sometimes when you're walking off, and his thing's the handshake, right? And when you get the handshake, you're done.
What have you ever just not done? Like, what if you just don't shake his hand?
I've never done that.
You should try that because then
Well,
he can't
it's-
pull you.
It doesn't really go over well. I've shook his hand and then argued it a little bit, and
Don't
then
try not
that's
shaking
straight to
his
the
hand.
tunnel. Well, that's straight to
No.
the tunnel, and then you hash it out down there.
Give
right?
him a little of this next time.
Because
Yeah, it's not going to go over well.
He makes a
but-
good point though, because if you do the handshake, that's sealing the deal.
Yeah,
Like,
he's-
that's how there's no conversation after the handshake. You're agreeing with a man, you're giving him your word. But if you don't shake the hand, then no agreement has been made, and it's all up for negotiation.
Yeah, I probably won't. He's so smart. AJ's, I mean, he's the best manager in the game. So wherever he wants to take the game or whatever he wants to do, the matchups that he wants to create from the bullpen coming in, I'm never gonna doubt that. Like I'm never gonna doubt that. And during that game where it was a complete game, I didn't think I gave him a reason to take me out of the game. Mm-hmm. And most times you can give him a reason to take, like if you watch the last couple innings, maybe you're spraying a little bit, you're not getting as much weak contact, it's getting a little loud. Okay, we're going to the bullpen, right? So he's very smart about that, and he does a ton of research. You know, you walk by his office, he's got his laptop up, and if you just walk in to just talk about whatever, he'll be going over matchups of pockets he wants to create for relievers that come in to face this certain part of the lineup, and then they're going to pinch hit for these guys, and then I actually want this guy to get the pinch hit for. It's like, it's insane. He's really good at his job.
He's thinking plays ahead.
No
innings
doubt,
ahead.
no doubt.
Yeah.
It feels like it feels like every move that is made during the game, pinch hit, bullpen move, whatever happens, it feels like it's always in our advantage, which I love.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm trying to win. So if he's giving me the handshake, it's like, one, I probably gave him a reason to take me out of the game. Maybe I'm walking guys, or my velocity's starting to decline, or it's getting a little loud. You know, maybe the quality of contact, it went from being, you know, pretty low exit velos to now they're getting to the hundreds or 104, and there's maybe a play at the fence, and he always protects his guys too. He always protects his starters. He doesn't ever want his starter, like if his starter's pitching really well, he doesn't ever want the starter to kind of pitch himself into a loss after a really good day, just because it puts a sour taste in your mouth. So I trust him a ton in that. But going back to the complete game thing, they hadn't hit the ball really hard at all. I felt like I was in complete control of the game. I had 11 strikeouts at the time through 8. I was at 80-something pitches. I knew who was coming up in the lineup. I think Jose Ramirez he had just like hit 109 to left field single, and I'm like, thank God, great at bat for me. Like, he's one of the best hitters ever. And I knew I was kind of in control of the game. So if there was going to be a handshake there, that would have been maybe one of the few times I would have strongly disagreed with it. But
Don't give him the handshake.
yeah, but I don't think there was a doubt in anybody's mind. It didn't even cross my mind that I was coming out of the game. I kind of knew I was at least going to go out there, and then at no point was there ever a reliever warming up. So
Yeah.
I knew I was in control of that game.
I got a really dumb question. I don't know why this is the first time in 40 years of my life that I've had this pop in my head, but you're a lefty. Is it weird shaking hands with your right hand?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's
kinda-
a dumb question.
We've just beaten you
Dumb
into
question.
submission
Yeah,
over the
dumb
years.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
kinda,
we just have forced all of you lefties to do
that's
this.
society. Yeah, you just kind of, it's always right hand. If I were to walk up to you today and been like,
I'd be like, what the hell
It
is
would
this guy
mess me
doing?
up, yeah.
I would think you're injured or something with your right hand. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I go
it's
home.
Just, the biggest thing being left-handed is growing up, the scissors are for right-handed people to cut scissors.
Yeah.
And they don't fit the same for lefties. Like, they're not like ambidextrous scissors.
My son's a lefty, so he's going to have
Buy
to
him
deal with
left-handed
us.
scissors.
Okay.
Seriously, he'll thank you for that.
Okay. Wait, let me try a left-handed handshake with you.
It's gonna mess you up.
Okay, you can stay seated.
It's gonna mess
I
you
don't
up
want to
bad.
fuck this up.
If Skubal shakes my hand, then he's going to give us 10% of his new contract. Oh!
You hate
It's
that.
a deal.
Good.
That's a deal.
deal.
You hate that.
Oh, that is weird.
Are left-handed handshakes enforceable in court?
Yes.
I don't know. That might
I think
be
they're
one of those
more
things.
enforceable.
Yeah,
It's like
because you had to go out of your
It's
way. to
sound,
do it.
mind, and body. Like no one would ever do this with their left
Yeah,
hand.
it's not an auto pen. That's a left-handed.
Yeah.
Like I have intent behind this right now.
I got a question about you had a very funny interaction with Alex Bregman earlier this year, where he was beating you up.
Someone
a
in
little
here
bit.
loved it.
Yeah,
there,
Hank
huh? Yeah.
loved it. He was beating you up this year. I think he had 3 hits off you, and you just told him in between innings take the first pitch,
Well, yeah,
and he
he
actually
went-
did.
Yeah.
And then he got a hit.
Yeah, so he went first pitch 107 to the center fielder. It may have been a double or something, a single. And I was like, oh, okay, swing at the first pitch. That's nothing new to me. Everybody swings at the first pitch. So he does it. Second pitch, homer. And I get back in the dugout. And, like, I have fun when I'm playing. You're competing, but, like, I also enjoy just the game. And I like Bregman. I like the way he plays the game. I love everything about him. He's a grinder. I've heard great things in the clubhouse about him. And so I go down to the other side of the dugout, and I'm like, hey, take one. Can you please take one your next at-bat? And then he steps in the box for his third at-bat, and I kind of give him the hands like, hey, just take one.
Yeah.
And I threw a strike, and he took it, and I started laughing because he did it.
Yeah.
And then the next pitch, single.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then he gets the first. I go, maybe take 2 next time.
Yeah,
I don't
right,
know. Can
right.
you just take, maybe I'll just walk you. How about that?
Do you think you maybe I actually talked to Bregman about this because I wanted to figure out what you were throwing. He said that the splitter. That's what he can hit off you. So,
Splitter?
Yeah.
I don't even throw
Or
that.
what is it? What? No. Shit. Maybe it wasn't the splitter. What did he say, Hank? Fuck.
Well, I mean, if he's
What did you
that,
throw?
I'm
What did you
screwed.
throw there? It wasn't the 4-seam. Maybe
Sinker?
it was 2. It was,
Sinker?
maybe it was sinker.
Yeah.
Said he hit one off the wall in the playoffs last year off you, and he feels like that gave him a little confidence. So
Well, if you watch the rest of that game, I don't think there
there
was.
you go.
There you go. You should not have said that you don't throw a splitter because now everybody's gonna be like,
Well, I used to throw
where's a splitter?
I used to throw a splitter, and it was horrible, so I had to stop throwing it.
Maybe just
I would have been sent back to Toledo if I kept throwing that pitch.
just tell people that you're bringing it back. Then that's one more pitch they got to look for.
Yeah, I got it in my back pocket. Then,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I throw a sweeper, gyro, death
Ephus?
ball. Yeah, I'll throw an ephus.
Have you ever thought about throwing an ephus? You should do it once, just for us.
I've thought about it, but the reason I don't think I'll ever do it is the slim chance that it gets just
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yeah.
And I would
That would also be
Fair.
funny though.
Fair.
I would have no answer to anybody if I give up a homer on a 65-mile-an-hour pitch.
Granke, I think, threw one.
Yeah, but Granke's weird.
Yeah, he is weird.
Yeah.
I think he threw it a couple times. It's
and
just
he's
always.
but
yeah.
it's like that's part of his game, though.
Yeah.
The ephus is not part of my game.
Have you ever thought about the gyro ball?
The gyro ball,
Yeah.
like slider.
I don't know the gyro ball. That's when Dice K
everyone-
came over. Everyone was like, "It's a pitch that
everyone
no one's ever
calls-
seen."
Yeah, they just all call. I mean, it's the fork ball now. It's like it's a different splitter. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it is. But gyro now is called. Those are called sliders. So that's like the gyro slider. You're looking for bullet spin. That's what gyro means is bullet spin.
What's bullet spin?
So like the ball is literally, the axis is through the baseball this way, and it's literally
Sideways.
spinning like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bullet. So
Like
like
a bullet. Yeah.
So a right-handed gyro is going to spin this way. A left-handed gyro is going to spin that way. And you're basically just trying to kill vert and kill horizontal. It's going to gravity is going to pull this ball down.
yeah.
In the nose will get pulled down, and then there's a whole. I could get about as nerded out about it as if you want, but
We were talking to Paul Skeens a couple months ago, and he still carries around a baseball with him, and he just does like different grips on it, always trying to figure out what a new pitch that he could throw is. Or do we have a new pitch that's coming out of the arsenal soon?
I try to throw a sweeper once in between every start. I try to get a sweeper grip that I like, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work. I can't throw it, but I keep trying because it's like, oh well, maybe if I put my finger here, or maybe if I put this finger here, you constantly are tinkering with things, but
what about a
never
knuckleball?
worked. I have a tough time spiking my. I don't have the most mobile fingers.
Okay.
And for a knuckleball, I can't really spike anything. Like guys will throw like spiked curveballs where their knuckles like this, and it hurts my knuckles to like do that. I don't have very mobile fingers. I don't think so. I don't know if that'll ever come.
How many changeups do you have?
One.
Just one?
Just one grip, and then counts dictate if I want to throw it a little bit harder, a little bit slower. At bats dictate that too, but
Good changeup is awesome.
I feel like Greg
You've
Maddux.
been throwing it more. I think it's your most thrown pitch right now.
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Greg
it is.
Maddux had like 5 different kinds of changeups that he would throw. And at some point, you're like, dude, it's just pick like maybe 1, maybe 2 if you're feeling frisky.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to throw changeups like that, like he did, I mean, he's throwing like cut changeups on purpose. He's throwing like straight changeups. He's throwing changeups that sink. He's throwing changeups that go straight down. I mean, Hendricks kind of does this too.
Yeah.
Where he'll throw like cut changeups, cut changeup, cut changeup, and then like he throws cut changeups to righties, and then later into counts he'll throw like the backdoor sinking changeup, and you think it's going to cut off, so you take it, and then it runs back on. So I think you got to have a ton of feel to do that. You know, to really do that with changeups.
You were just talking about a 109 mile per hour hit that you gave up a single, and you were like, I was okay with that. That's fine. He's a great batter. I can live with that
It
one.
wasn't a homer.
Do you have a favorite hit that you've given up, like an at bat that you worked really hard on? We've asked quarterbacks this, like, do you have a favorite interception that you've ever thrown? But do you have a favorite hit that you've given up where you feel like, okay, that was a massive win after that at bat?
I mean, anytime you keep like the best players in the yard, you know, like Aaron Judge, Jose Ramirez, Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie, like anytime you just give up a single to those guys, you're like,
You can live with it.
great
Yep.
at bat.
Yeah.
Great at bat. You know, even if, I mean, with runners in scoring position, maybe a little bit different, but like I gave up a single to Aaron Judge, I think maybe in Williamsport last year, and he hit it like 114 on the ground. And he got to first base, and I was like, hey, nice job, man.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. It wasn't a homer, so thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you try to keep, you know, really good players, just if you keep them in the yard, and especially if they're not like, you know, trying to steal bags like that, where they're not running a ton, it's kind of a advantage for the pitcher, because you know you can get a ground ball and get a double play and you know, get 2 outs for the price of 1, especially when those guys are so good.
Yeah.
What about a favorite strikeout?
Favorite strikeout? I mean, that one to end the complete game is probably the
pretty
best
good.
one.
That's
I mean, it's
pretty
the
damn
hardest
good.
fastball I've ever thrown. There was one in that game in the 7th inning to Manzardo. That was a sinker, like down and away, kind of off to back on, and that was 102, and that one felt good out of the hand too.
Was you swearing walking off the field and your mom getting mad? Was that off of a strikeout in the playoffs?
That was off a double play.
Okay,
It was
all
on
right. So,
First
yeah,
and third double
that was
play.
maybe the best double play.
It was a big moment, you know. And then, I mean, I don't know what happened that day. I think, the Cleveland fans were great too. I like going there. It's fun. And then the playoff series that's playoff baseball.
You
know,
actually have a big time hater in this office that I think.
I know. I was wondering if I was going to see him
You'll
today.
see him. Yeah. Tate is a big Guardians fan, and he
which is, I mean,
he just
I'm
writes
fine.
blogs constantly. Like he had an entire campaign that Clase should have won the Cy Young last
Yeah,
year.
he can't keep my name out of his mouth.
Yeah, and then
Successful.
That's a good
and
thing,
then
I
he's
think.
writing like the Tigers should trade you right
Yeah.
now because you're not going to re-sign.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll get to meet him. Here's a question. This might be insider trading, but we're just going to do it anyway because we're basically part of your agent team now. I think
Yeah.
that was clear with
Yeah.
the. Do you have like a very good friend, starting pitcher on another team? Like who's your closest friend?
On another team.
Yeah.
See, I've had a cool opportunity to just play on like one team my whole career. You
Yeah.
know, like no trade. I've been drafted by the Tigers, play with the Tigers. So like on the team is Casey Mize. I
Okay.
mean, me and him have come up together, but on another team, it's probably Matt Boyd.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
think
he's a pitcher, and he can. So here's what we need to do: we need to figure out whenever you play him, you need to be like, hey, Skip, I'm ready to bat today, and you go up. He throws you a meatball. You hit a home run, and then when we get that big binder from Scott Boras, we're like, Tarik Skubal, if you actually did the math, he would have 450 home runs if you gave him the Shohei, full treatment of at bats.
I always say, yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
but
it's a good idea, right?
There's no chance I could hit. First off,
What do you
but
mean?
I can't hit. Go pull up the tape.
We're gonna cut this.
Not
part.
with that attitude.
Yeah, we're
Lester-
gonna cut this part. We're gonna
Lester, at the end of his career, I mean, great player, right? But he was throwing 84, 86, and I thought it was like 102. Like I can't see the ball. And then
Shit, this is
I do
bad.
say this though. I do say I'm the best bunter in Major League history.
Okay.
Okay, that, yeah, we can work with that.
Bryce Wilson, I faced him in Pittsburgh, and I went 0 for 0, got my sack bunt down, and
Yep.
I have one bunt attempt, got it down. So,
right, so that's
any big
something.
situations, I always say I'm the best bunter in Major League history.
You
You
ready
can't
to
take
bunt?
that away from me. I'm 1 for 1. so.
Never. How are you at base running?
Well, I was out. I sacrificed myself because I'm a team guy.
Yeah.
So I got my bunt down. I'm a big team guy. I ran to first base. I was out by 10 steps.
Did you run it out?
Yeah, I ran it out.
So you're
Touched
slow.
First base. No, I was pitching, so you kind of it's a courtesy
Yeah,
jog. But once I knew he fielded it, I was like, well, the only way I'm safe is if he, yips it up the line. But
Yeah.
so I got out of the box. All right, made him think that I maybe could be fast, and then shut it down.
But
Yeah.
are you fast?
I wouldn't claim that I'm fast, but I'm not. I don't think I'm slow
You shouldn't.
either.
I mean, you're a hoss. Hosses can't be fast.
Yeah,
You
I'm-
if you wanted to be fast, you'd have to give up hoss. I'd rather be a hoss than fast.
No doubt, no
So-
doubt. But I'm not slow. I don't think I'm slow.
Yeah.
I think I can run. I don't think I could run the bases, but I think it takes me a little bit to
We're
get going.
slowly-
It takes me a little bit to get going, but once I get to my my stride kind of opens up, I think
Yeah.
I run decent.
You run for power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm not built for the 100-meter dash, but I'm not built for the 400 or the 1600 or any of those other ones, but maybe like a 250-meter maybe. If
Yeah.
you only counted from 75 to the rest of the race.
Yeah.
Finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. How fun is Javi Baez? I'm
He's the
pumped for
best.
Javi. I
He's
love
the best.
Javi forever. Him having kind of a resurgence this year, and also like playing center field. Has that your defense obviously very important? Like, is
Yeah.
Javi just a guy? He seems like a very fun guy in the locker room.
Yeah, I love him. He's always taking care of us. No matter what the results are on the field, he's the same guy in the clubhouse, and he's taken care of us ever since he came over. He was the first. I mean, he's great too, but what goes under, overlooked was he's playing center field for Parker when Parker gets hurt, right, in spring training. Parker comes back. He plays his first game at shortstop last night for the first time. It felt like I don't know when was the last time he played shortstop. And he makes an insane play up the middle to save 2 runs. 1 run scores, but he picks the ball, throws it from his knees. We get an out, and then we get the next out. So he saves 2 runs in that aspect too. And that's like such an underappreciated aspect of his game is he'll go from center to third to short to second. We move him all around, and he doesn't complain about anything. He just wants to play baseball, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, when we started this podcast, Big Cat took me to a Cubs game, and he was like, watch Javi Baez. Watch how he tags.
Yeah.
It's
And I was like, this
unbelievable.
guy's the best tagger in the history of Major League Baseball. I
Yeah,
didn't know that
it's-
was a skill. But
tags and slides.
Tagging's like a legit thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're really good at tagging guys out, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
For your catcher, for games, like he's so good at that.
Yeah, and and his slides are also like he'll over a course of a there's some times where Javi will have some weird things happen on the base path, but he will have like I would say call it once a month where it's like that slide there's no one else can make that slide.
Yeah, he
and
looks
finds
really
a way.
cool when he slides.
Really
Yes,
cool.
he
Like
does.
he looks when he slid into home. There wasn't even a play at the plate, but he slid into home yesterday. Well, it wasn't. I mean, it kind of was. The throw was like 15 feet up the line, so there really wasn't a play at the plate. But
Yeah.
he slid and just like as he's sliding, just kind of smacks his hand on home, and I'm like, dude, you're really cool.
yeah,
You know?
I think him and Trey Turner have the best slides in baseball.
Yeah, Trey. I mean, he just like he does. There's no. He just like glides on the ground.
He glides
It's
and then stands
unbelievable.
up in one motion. It's like a Michael Jackson music video. It's,
I don't know how he does
it's
that.
It's crazy. And also, I love Javi's tattoo, the MLB tattoo.
Yeah.
that he has.
Sweet.
Have you thought about
Sweet.
getting an MLB tattoo, maybe on your neck, like the front of your neck?
It would
It's
show that you
never
love the
crossed my
game.
mind. It's
Yeah.
never crossed my mind.
This might be
but
something we could.
It looks great on him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd look good on me. Yeah.
I went to a Cubs game on Saturday, and they employed an interesting strategy with their starting pitcher. So they had their starter throw 1 inning, and then they brought in the
Ben
other
Brown,
guy,
yeah.
Ben Brown, who historically doesn't pitch that well in the first innings. Then he pitches after that. Do you think that baseball managers are ever going to get into a phase where they have, some of their best pitchers pitching every single or as much as possible?
What do you mean?
Like
That's
pi-
like an opener situation.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
the
an
opener.
opener. But like if you're the best pitcher by
You're
far, on
not
the
having
team,
an opener.
you're not going to have an opener. But wouldn't it be nice to have you go out there every single game for a few innings?
He's saying like if you like your off day throwing when you're ramping it up, like instead of off day throwing in the bullpen, you just are an opener one day.
I don't know. I mean, I would love to, right? Like I have a bullpen today at the field. I would love to just throw it in the game.
Opener,
I think
yeah,
that'd be
opener.
fun. That's like college ball.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, oh, you're starting Friday. Okay, well, if we're winning on Tuesday, this is small. A mid-major guy was where I went to school, but if we were like playing UW or something on a Tuesday, our coach would be like, hey, don't throw your bullpen today yet. If we're winning in the 8th inning, you're going to throw it in the 9th. And I'm like, well, that's not really a bullpen. This is a game.
High leverage,
This is like I'm letting it rip.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't think that'll ever happen just with like arm injuries and the risk of all that stuff. But I get your point. I think it would be fun to throw a lot, but then you're just a reliever, and I'm pretty sure everyone wants to be the starting pitcher.
Everybody does want to be the starter, yeah. But you're right. I think if there was one injury that happened, then whoever that manager was, you're staking your career on that decision if you got your best guy going out there.
Yeah, and like I think historically, you see it in the postseason where guys will jump back on short rest or whatever. I'd be curious to see the numbers, but I don't think it's like as good as you'd think. Like you want your best pitcher out there, but you want your best pitcher out there on 5 days rest. But on 4 days rest or 3 days rest, like I think the numbers would probably say that your best pitcher isn't your best pitcher on 3 days rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the numbers kind of back that too, but everyone wants, like the Bumgarner thing in the World Series where it's like this guy threw 1, 3, 7, like all
Haas.
these games, right? Yeah. And I mean, he's one of the best, he's probably the best postseason pitcher of all time, maybe if you looked at the numbers. But like that is such a rare case because there's also guys that have bounced back on short rest that haven't been very good. So
Can you feel a difference in your arm? Like what's the difference between 4 days rest and 5 days rest? Just waking up in the morning.
it's a big difference. It's a big difference. Just having that extra day. I think even from 5 days to 6 days, 7 days I think is always too much. Like if you're throwing once a week, I think you almost feel too good. So you don't want to feel that because then your arm, you just don't even know where the ball's coming out.
Yeah.
But even from 5 to 6 is a difference, I think in just the stuff that comes out of your hand. And then if you go backwards the other way, like last year, my last start was, before the All-Star break was whatever. And then the game was on 4 days rest. And I was I'm pitching my first All-Star game. I'm thinking it's going to come out hot. My first heater was like 94.7. And I'm like, what the hell? Like I don't throw 94. And I just didn't have much with me that day. And that game was a little bit unique too. Like nothing matters, so your adrenaline doesn't flow the same. You're like, I don't care if I get rocked or if I, this game doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a little bit of incentive, but so maybe that's why the adrenaline was suppressed. But even then, I think I would have fed off the crowd a little bit better, and I was letting it rip, and it was like 95, and I'm like, oh, this isn't normal for me.
When does the adrenaline start to like? When can you feel it? Like where it's like game day? Is it 20 minutes before? Is it right before? Because that's got to be like the best drug to be like, holy shit, I'm just ready to go.
Yeah, it's insane. You get addicted to it.
Yeah.
Too. Like you get addicted to it. It's probably, on days I go, on days I'm pitching, I'm pretty, relaxed and I like to enjoy it and have fun. And then once I start my routine and I've had, coffee, probably I drink 3 shots of espresso like 3 hours before the game. That's kind of my dosage to where I know I'm awake, for the game and I'm ready to go. Probably an hour and 15 minutes before the game, that's kind of when I'm like, okay, you start to feel it. You get the nerves. You don't get like shaky, but you get like you're ready to go. And then you get out there and you start playing catch, and then it starts to kind of like go down, and then you hear the anthem, and then that's for me. Once I hear the anthem, then it's like, okay, it's ready to go. My next 4 or 5 pitches in the bullpen, or I do a batter, and whether I walk, I don't really care what happens, but I just like go through some sequencing, and then once you throw that last pitch, you're ready to go.
Did you have to tinker with that caffeine regimen? Was there a time when you're like, I'm going to try 5, 6 shots?
Yeah, I didn't drink caffeine until 23. I didn't ever really have caffeine.
That's crazy.
And then it's like one of the best drugs for performance enhancing, like to make you better. There's a lot of research about it, to make you like your brain stimulus, all that stuff better. And I didn't start drinking caffeine until I went on rehab assignment. And I started tinkering with it on days I pitch. And I figured 4 is too much 3 hours before the game, but 3 is good and 2 is not enough. So it's always like 3.
I'm just gonna slap a Stella Blue logo on that entire speech right there.
Yeah, 4's too much, 2's not enough, 3's kind of perfect for me. And
Yeah.
that's
It's like martinis.
yeah.
Oh,
and now I'm addicted to coffee.
That's how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna get like paid Instagram ads of Skubal saying all that stuff, and we're gonna basically reel in Boris, where he's gonna try to sue me, and I'll be like, hey, listen, buddy, let's talk. Now that we're at the table together, let's talk.
I need to
about
get
stuff.
I need to get some beans. for
Yeah,
sure.
I'll give you some
Yeah,
on the
I
way
need to
out,
get
and I'll send you
beans.
some. All right, I got a couple last questions. First is, I need you to address something. I was looking at your name on Twitter and just seeing what the buzz is, and I found this one. This is from @Detroit vs. Everyone 29. He said, "Hey Tigers, I'd love to watch my favorite team play with my kids, but I won't let them watch when Tarik Skubal starts because his pants are too tight. Can this be addressed?"
That's a bad take. That's a bad take.
You do wear tight pants. Do
I
you
like
think
tight
that
pants.
you maybe are too tight for the kids?
I don't think so.
Okay, I made that tweet up, by the way.
I like tight pants. I like my pants tight. I don't like. I've never been like a baggy pant guy. I mean, I'm wearing joggers right now, and this is kind of how I like my pants to fit. too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I won't let my son Chris watch you pitch anymore after you told the Guardians to shut the fuck up. That was bad. Your mom was right about that.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
But I was impressed this season you apologized for pimping a strikeout.
Which what are you talking?
Wasn't that
about?
against Neto?
Oh yeah. That was there was some stuff going on there, and you kind of handle it on the line. I'm never gonna hit anybody for anything. Like, I just don't think that's in the game anymore. And there was some stuff, and I didn't want retaliation against our guys too. For me acting like that on the mound.
Fair.
So that was kind of like, hey, the moment happened. We're all good. I don't need anybody getting hit on our side either. So
Great teammate. Great
that
teammate.
was kind of
move.
great teammate.
You
Great
saved
teammate
lives that
move.
day.
Self-proclaimed
Yeah.
great teammate.
Yes.
Those are the best guys. Everyone knows that.
Great teammate.
But yeah, I think that was that moment was. He's a great player too. He's doing a hell of a job this year. But
Yeah.
you kind of.
Other Twitter's question. Skubal is God. You actually responded to him. That's the guy who gave me, the kid who gave me the envelope saying.
Detroit John or
yeah,
whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
So have you, we got to get him out to a game. He loves you so much.
Yeah,
And he sent you he sent you a DM, and I think you responded to it a couple months later being like, yeah, we're friends now. Very cool story. It's like, you don't have to do that. You're the Cy Young winner, and you're responding to a random guy on Twitter. I love that.
Well, I said I would. I
Yeah.
said I would to you guys. And he's messaged me a couple different times, and I've kind of got back to him a couple times, but I haven't gone over the whole ticket situation.
Okay, we got to
there.
get him to a game.
Yeah, let's get him out there.
Yeah,
why not?
Because he's your number one. I mean, the fact that you gave me that envelope is still, it will go down as one of the best bets I've ever made just because of the story behind it.
Yeah,
You know?
that is cool.
Yeah.
That is unique.
Yeah. All right, last question. Rowback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Rowback.com. Promo code TAKE. This isn't even a question. This is just Hank has a story he wants to tell you because Hank's a huge fan of yours. We're all huge fans of yours. You are a Haas, but Hank, he told us this story a couple days ago. Go ahead, Hank.
Yeah, huge fan. Obviously, I was a lefty pitcher, threw a little bit slower, but
Same.
love watching you play. And I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan last weekend. I was in an absolute dive bar. I think it's called Anchor Bar. Carpeted floors, dim lights. The TVs were the size of this TV that's above us, like just tiny little monitors. It was like midnight, 1 a.m., and they just had Tarik Skubal highlights on a loop. I was like, that's what you want in a
awesome.
hometown bar.
Yeah.
And that's what
Grand
you know,
Rapids is sneaky a really cool city, by the
yeah.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I had a
That's
great
where
time.
our high A team is.
Yeah.
That's where West Michigan Whitecaps are. And I played there for a little bit. I loved it there. I think that's our best city for any affiliate we have in the minor leagues. Like,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
And that's a great sign of like, you're the city loves you.
Yeah,
It's like
the love.
we're just gonna throw on like, what should we put on this TV? Like, just throw on Skubal highlights.
Yeah,
on the
just
loop.
have it. Yeah, it's a 15-minute YouTube. Just have it play all night.
You know how
Yeah,
nasty
that's
you have to
awesome.
be as a pitcher to have like a long highlight mix that people want to watch at a bar while
Yeah.
they're drunk? You have to be really fucking good for that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anchor Bar?
Yeah.
I got some buddies that live in Grand Rapids. I'll have them go check it out.
Yeah.
Great bar.
Yeah.
What do you plan on doing against the Cubs on Friday? Just tearing them apart?
I mean, ideally, yes.
Got some lefties.
Yeah. So wait, you said earlier you hardly ever pitch against lefties. Is that
Yeah.
an anomaly for your division?
Well, it's just no one likes the left-on-left matchup.
Yeah.
Really. And
So you're not used
if
to
they
it.
can stack a bunch of righties, they will. And then the lefties you get are dogs. You know, like Kyle Tucker, Schwarber, Harper, Ohtani. Like you're getting those lefties that are like superstars, right?
Didn't say
That are in
PCA.
there. Jordan Alvarez.
Didn't say PCA.
PCA.
That's bulletin
PCA.
board
Yeah, he's been a hell
material.
of a
Not a
player
dog,
this
you
year.
said.
Yeah,
What you said.
PCA.
No, he's a
You gotta
dog.
go
He's a
yard on
player.
you.
He says a kitty cat.
No, but I mean they're a good team. It'll be a fun weekend, and our crowd. I think I've seen some stuff about how it's going to be a sellout pretty much all 3 games. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun. It'll be fun, and you look forward to throwing at home in front of your own crowd and going out there and competing. It'll be a good game for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Who's starting? on Friday for them?
I don't know. I mean, we might have an opener again. Let's see.
Not Boydo.
Tyone pitched on Sunday, so maybe
That'll
him.
line him out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or Ben Brown if they did the opener. He pitched on Saturday.
Okay.
So.
Wait, Max.
We're also going to run this the next week. So
Okay,
everyone's gonna
yeah,
be
how'd-
like,
how'd
what's
it go?
going on? Yeah,
How'd that game go?
Yeah, how'd the game go?
What's your
We're
stat
going to run
line?
this on like
this is
Wednesday
after?
next
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I went 7 shut. Yeah, that's what happened.
7
Yeah.
shot. I love it. Max, have you been doing the crossword in there? Or is that memes?
That would be
That's
Henry.
so
No,
disrespectful.
wait, Hank was able to do it?
So
The entire-
fucking disrespectful. I'm like, that's actually the most disrespectful thing.
Tarek, this is bad for you. That Hank's doing this. Hank didn't go to college. Wait,
very
Barstool's
proud of
an
what I'm
answer?
doing.
Yeah, that's
you're
that's
doing
why
a good
Hank got it.
job.
The question is,
I gotta
like,
stop looking 'cause
what
it's gonna
company
ruin
do you
my
work
day.
for?
No,
Yeah.
no, it was seeing the pub.
Okay.
I was just like, we pulled it up when we were
I know.
talking about it, and
Is
I'm
that-
actually pretty proud of my
Yeah, I
progress.
can't. I don't want to.
You can't look at that, but-
Is that today's?
Is that
This is
today's?
today's.
Okay, yeah, don't look.
Just give him one clue.
Yeah,
give him
give me
one
a clue
clue
with
that
the
you haven't
letter,
gotten yet.
Jerry O'Connell's obsessed with Tiffany Gomas's feet, and he calls them this.
Child's word
I'll
for
never
foot.
get that.
Yeah, give him
I'm
which
not
one
gonna-
across. You guys haven't gotten one across yet.
No,
Do one across.
vicinity, close.
How many letters?
4.
Area probably.
Ooh.
That's what I would guess.
This is bad, though. If Hank can do this crossword, you might have to go to New York Times or LA.
Area.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
All
go.
right, now you go 1 down. What's 1 down?
One down.
Starts with
Seek
an A.
permission, ask.
Yep.
There we
2
go.
down starts with an R.
2 down. R. Insecure actress Issa Rae.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Issa
Oh,
Rae.
you got it.
Yeah,
Oh,
3 down starts with an E.
Lamb's mother.
U.
How do you spell
EWE.
that? EWE.
Yep.
Nope.
4 down.
EW, not you, dude.
What's 4 down? Starts with a A.
Characteristic.
Attribute. How many letters?
No,
It
it's,
ends with CT.
and it's well as long as you got that. Oh,
Aspect?
Characteristic. Yeah, maybe try to get
Aspect.
2
Yeah.
across or 3
Oh, we
across.
got aspect. That's right.
okay.
Okay.
5 down. Bad. It's a 2021 Ed Sheeran song.
Ed
I don't think that's how you say his name. Yeah, I don't know that one.
I just love that Hank. You said EWE and Hank put EUE and he goes nope. Oh, all right, Tarek, you're the man. Keep crushing it, and we're big fans. And let us know when you need us to negotiate. We're ready to go.
All right, a year and some change. A year and a
Okay.
half or
All right,
so.
just put us in. Put
Yeah.
the ball in our hand.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys.
Tarik Skubal was brought to you by Brex. This whole episode is actually brought to you by Brex. Every company is looking to get more from their dollars these days. We can meet Brex, the modern finance platform that helps companies do just that. With a corporate card, banking, expenses, and travel all in one place, Brex ensures that the best companies, from the fastest growing AI startups to global enterprises, can spend smarter and move faster. This has earned them the trust of 30,000 companies, including us here at Barstool Sports. We're a proud Brex user here. Brex makes everything easy. The corporate card, the banking, all the travel, they can be a big pain in the butt to deal with. For us, we use Brex. You can learn more at brex.com/grow. They make it easy. Brex.com/grow to learn more. Tarik was also brought to you by our great friends at NASCAR. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez is the crown jewel of the NASCAR Mexico Series. Tight corners and fast straights push drivers to their limits with door-to-door battles all race long. Anything can happen in Mexico City, where bold moves and dramatic finishes are part of the show. The fan experience is electric. They've got passionate crowds, nonstop energy, and a celebration of motorsports culture. Tickets are going fast, so lock yours in now at NASCAR.com. Don't miss the excitement. Feel the adrenaline in Mexico City. Watch the NASCAR Cup Series in Mexico City live on Prime June 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern for edge-of-your-seat racing action. And now here he is, the GOAT of the chess world, Magnus Carlsen.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest. First ever Grandmaster chess player on this show. I believe so. It is Magnus Carlsen, the greatest chess player of all time. And I'll start with that, Magnus. Am I allowed to say you're the greatest chess player of all time, or can we? Is it the GOAT debate is settled? You are the GOAT.
I'm not sure I'm the right person to ask, really, but I don't mind. That's completely fine by me.
I am the right person to ask, so I'll just say you are the GOAT. Undisputed GOAT. Who else would be in that conversation?
Well, there's Garry Kasparov, who has a very good case, I think, and then there's Fischer as well, Bobby Fischer kind of had, I would say, the highest peak in terms of the difference between him and his competitors, at least in recent times. The problem with Fischer is that he kind of stopped playing right after he became world champion. He had like that 3-year peak from 70 to 72. So it's hard to say, but I feel like I'm getting there. So
okay,
that's all I can ask for.
Let's make the case for you, because that is what we want to come out of this interview being like, Magnus is our GOAT. We'll fight anyone who goes after him. The case I would make for you is, so you have been world number one for what, 14, 15 years? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think continuously now since 2011.
Love that. 15 years. You also are playing in the most difficult era of chess, I would assume. You can correct me, because the computer assist, the computer analysis has gotten so smart that I think I heard a quote that you said in the past, 20 years ago, to learn an opening in chess would take you a month. Now people are able to learn it in 5 hours because they have the computers helping them. So I would say that you're playing in the most difficult era because people are able to get up to a top level faster than they were 20, 30 years ago.
I agree to some extent that it's kind of harder to set yourself apart these days. Preparation has kind of become less important because everybody kind of agrees these days that the engines sort of know everything, and your phone can pretty much come up with the same result as somebody could come up with days and days of research. So yeah, that part has become a lot easier. As you said, it's so much easier to attain information and to get to a certain level. So I think yeah, in many ways it's harder to set yourself apart in these days. And honestly, if you're talking about normal chess as well, the best openings are kind of unplayable these days. And if you look at just Gary's area, he was way ahead of his competitors when it came to opening analysis, and he would win a lot of games purely based on that. And you just cannot really do that anymore.
Go confirm. Gary was playing against plumbers.
Yeah, it was a different era. And also, I think more people are playing these days, right? He was playing against plumbers. He was playing against construction workers. Yeah, the rules have changed, too. It's harder to succeed in this era. But when you're talking about the opening, I'm always interested to hear chess players talk about it, because the opening, for me, would be like if I learned 4 moves. It's like, okay, I know this opening. At what point does the opening stop and the middle of the game commence?
Yeah, the openings are very different, of course, because the openings that we play, the openings that we're worried about, are not necessarily at the same as that we would be on amateur level, right? On most recreational level, people learn like a certain setup, and they don't necessarily want to play the most sterile lines where you're just going for a draw with the black pieces. I would say the opening these days often ends a little bit earlier than it used to, because we're going out of kind of the most charted territory a bit earlier. So I would say these days, maybe after 12, 13 moves on average, we can say that the opening is over and the middle game starts. I will say, though, that this is one of the reasons why I've been pushing I've been pushing to play a different form of chess, call it Fisher Random or freestyle or whatever, where you actually sort of eliminate the opening completely and start from the middle game. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds on that.
So that style of chess, that's where you randomize the back row, right?
Yeah, you randomize the back row. There are a couple of rules, like the king has to be in between the rooks, so you can castle on both sides, and the bishops still are in opposite colors. But the idea is basically that you use the same skill set that you have in chess to a large degree, but it's supposed to be kind of harder to mask your weaknesses, because you cannot like count on a certain amount of setups that you use, because it's more complicated than that if the major pieces start on different squares. But for now, that is more of a game for professionals than amateurs, really, because for at most levels, like I when people ask for advice for openings and so on, I said like play whatever you want, right? And anything works as long as you've as long as it suits you and you got practice there.
Yeah. What a little bit about your history. At what age were you like, I can do this. I have a mind for this that is different than everyone else. Was there an aha moment? And when did you start playing chess?
I've never looked at myself that way, that I am necessarily that much different. Like, I've understood at some point that yes, I can understand the game better than others, but I don't really know why. I don't feel like I've necessarily got a better mind, better memory, and so on. So I started relatively late in chess terms. I would say I played my first tournament when I was 8.5, and at that point, I would say I had roughly half a year of quite significant chess training on my own. And I would say, so I played the Norwegian Championship under 11. I finished in middle of the field, which, I didn't have any expectations. I thought that was good. And then the next year I won it, and I thought, well, I've now beaten a lot of the kids that started a few years earlier than I did, who are a couple of years older, and I've sort of gotten there in 1 year. Then I started thinking, well, maybe at least I was doing it in a different way than the others. Like, how we go to soccer practice or whatever other sport you're doing. Like, most kids, if they do that, they do it once or twice a week, and then maybe you have a match at the weekends or something. And this is what kids would do with chess as well. There were very often this kids tournaments in the Oslo area. I wasn't doing that. I was studying on my own a lot apart from that. Like, I wasn't merely playing chess. Like, I was already living chess to a large degree back then. And so it was, in that sense, it wasn't a surprise that I surpassed the others, but that's when I felt like, yeah, I could actually be quite good at this.
And what was the moment? How old were you when the world started noticing? Like, oh man, this guy. When did you go world number one? Were you still a teenager?
The first time I was world number one was only for about a week, but that was late 2008, so it was a little before my 18th birthday.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. Like, that was about 9 years after I'd played my first tournament. So the progress until then have been pretty good.
Yeah, that's insane.
So yeah, you were talking about how you live it, it's part of your life more so than it is like an activity or recreation. When you're playing, do you get the same joy out of winning as you used to, or is it more about the process for you?
Unfortunately, the sad thing about chess, as in life, is that negative feelings are they're enhanced a bit. So, like, a really painful loss as people I may have seen from my last tournament,
Mhm.
like it hits a lot harder.
You hate losing.
Yeah, it hits a lot harder than the wins. So I'll be very satisfied often when I win. I may not always show it. But it like the reaction to losing is unfortunately stronger still.
But I saw how you lost, and I said that I like that because you show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser. Like you're gonna get back in the lab, and you're gonna be stronger.
Yeah, but I don't know. Part of me, honestly, when I had that loss recently, just felt it was so dumb and so unnecessary, and it just made me feel so kind of washed and useless that my thought for a few days was just I'm not sure, like why am I doing this when I win it's good, but it feels kind of normal, and then when I lose it's just for a moment the world just falls apart.
It was so funny when people were like, he's the bad boy of chess. I love that nickname. Like you just get mad after a loss, and they're like, wow, what a bad boy. Look at this rebel.
Well, you also wear jeans.
Yeah, true. The jeans. That's a big one.
Yeah. So you are the bad boy. Are you the bad boy at chess?
I don't aspire to I don't aspire to be a bad boy. I sometimes I think I'm in a position compared to some of my peers. I'm in a position where I can afford not to take shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's when but honestly, like those moments I had like banging the table, like I'm generally not gonna apologize for outbursts in the moment, as long as you realize afterwards, well, you show your opponent the proper respect and so on. I obviously like I wish I could have avoided that by winning the game, but I honestly think that there should be room for that in chess as well. It's a little bit like smashing your racket in tennis. Like it is such an uptight sport to begin with that I think it's okay.
Yeah, human emotion is good for the game. It's growing the game. Now, you said something there that you had moments afterwards where you're like, am I washed? I want to come clean. I'm not a big chess fan. I saw 2 clips that week, and both of them were your losses. So I was like, I think I made the comment on this podcast, I was like, all this dude does is lose. And then everyone corrected me. It was like, he is literally the best chess player of all time. He's been world number 1 for a decade and a half. So I'm going to come clean on that. That's on me. You're now my GOAT. But when you lose a game, do you have those thoughts of like, hey, chess is a young guy's game. It's a young kid's game. You see the child prodigies. Are you worried about, how much longer you can go?
It has to be said, though, the way that I lose, it depends. That particular loss felt so bad and so unnecessary. And I guess part of it was, well, this guy is young and he's the official world champion. And I know that, this is going to be a big thing. But there was another game in the last round where I was losing for parts of the game, but it was a very interesting game and I still had chances to come back. And in that game, I was very comfortable with the thought that I might lose because, it's a good fight. It can happen. And I managed to pull through. But if I'd lost, well, that would have sucked. But it wouldn't have been the end of the world. The time when the kids surpass me, it's gonna come for sure. But it's not there yet.
Yeah, I love that. Wait, so you're saying it was the way you lost. And also, by the way, you won the tournament. You ended up winning the tournament. So, like, that should be stated.
As you said, the clips that you see, I said it before as well, that if people stop caring when I lose, then that's not a good thing.
That's
Facts,
true.
They don't boo nobodies. That's a famous saying in American sports. Reggie Jackson. So wait, so it was how you lost that you were more mad about than losing, because losing happens in chess. How did you lose? Like, what did you? Is it a specific tactical error that you made that you're like, how did I miss that? Or was it overthinking?
Yeah, it was a combination of a few things. Basically, I dominated that game, most of the game. I was basically just choosing between the most comfortable ways to win. And then he started like digging in, really fighting back. And it's one of those where my time starts ticking down, and I could feel that, my blood sugar was dropping a bit as well. So that didn't help either. I got short of time, and by the end, I had completely lost my mind, which is why I felt so washed, because I felt that kind of thing wouldn't have happened to me 5-6 years ago. But I can accept it if somebody plays a great game and beats me. Like that's fine. Like it's still gonna suck. But I'm fine with it. If somebody like in that game just kind of gets outplayed with the white pieces, and then I just like implode in that way, that was pretty bad.
It's fascinating to read about what chess players go through during a tournament, because I feel like a lot of people that don't follow chess don't realize how much stress these guys are under over the course of a tournament. I think it was in the New York Times, it said that you can lose like 15 pounds over the course of a tournament just from anxiety and sweating. Do you go through that at all, or are you able to kind of like keep a level mindset?
I don't know. It depends on the tournament, but what I will say is that I got to where I am now, which is at my in-laws' summer house with my wife. I got here a couple of days ago, and like my appetite since I've been here I've just been eating nonstop. So I probably
I love that.
Yeah.
probably had some energy to recover after that tournament.
Can you get a snack if your blood sugar drops? What are the rules about that?
No, you can definitely get snacks, and I usually am quite good at regulating that during games. And that particular day, okay, the excuse train starts.
Yeah.
But that particular day, I had walked to the city, which is about a 45-minute walk, because a lot of roads were closed because of a bike ride. And then because of that, also I'd been golfing earlier in the day with my coach.
You got to golf. You got to golf.
Yeah, you got to golf.
Yeah.
Like we started 5:00, so why not?
Yeah.
And then everything was delayed, so I only had time to get some Chinese takeout. That was right by the playing hall. I brought it into the playing hall and started eating it during the game. So I was kind of fine, but my body was like a little bit more stressed than usual, and so I felt that I needed to be a bit more vigilant. And the thing is, as I said, I'm usually very conscious about those things. If I know that I have a winning position, but it might go on for another half an hour, I will regulate based on that, get an extra snack or something. But sometimes when the brain just malfunctions, you forget about it. You forget about those things. And then it is just a good old-fashioned meltdown.
It sounds like you beat yourself.
And also, you got to have a snack coach.
Yeah.
You got to have a guy that's at your side with a suitcase
Happy to
filled
do
with
that for
pretzels, ice cream.
That's
we
my
can
goat.
learn. We can improve from this.
Yeah, that's my go-to. You beat yourself, and we got to get you snack.
I know. Usually I have to give my opponent credit. Like, it doesn't come out of nowhere. If he doesn't start fighting like a lion in a lost position, then we don't get there. Like, he could have laid down, but he didn't. But yeah, of course, that's the game I win 98% of the time.
Yeah. I've got
It is what it is.
I've got a couple dumb questions for you. Is there such a thing as like a fantasy chess league where I can I can draft, I guess not players, but you know how like if you play, I know you play fantasy soccer or fantasy football, but you know how you can get the team and you can get like certain players on the team. What if I were able to draft like your knights on my fantasy chess team?
The funny thing is we're actually working on that. Uh, there's a company called Take, which does like a little bit of chess app. It was like a watch zone for chess, and we do a lot of YouTube stuff as well. And we are working on exactly that thing you're talking about. In that, if you think about it as a normal fantasy team, that the chess players are sort of the teams, and then the pieces
Yeah.
are the players that you draft.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely working on that and other kind of like simpler fantasy games as well that are more based on predictions. Um, but yeah, there definitely is something to be said for that in chess, and it we want to give people an extra incentive to watch. Let's say you got my H pawn, and there's some kind of end game where like if that pawn becomes a queen, you win your mini league and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like what would be the big board if you were to look across the chess landscape? Would it be your pawns, Magnus's pawns ranked number 1? Would it be what's his name? Hikaru, his queen, or would it be like Neiman's anal beads? Which one would be 1-1?
That's a good question. There's a guy, we've done a few tests, and there's a guy called Alireza Firouzja from France. His queen he just plays like wild, complicated games. So his queen should be the number 1 draft pick in any.
His queen work is insane.
The best queen.
In a league.
Yes, queen.
I
His
love
queen
that.
work is-
Yeah.
What's your number 1 piece?
Honestly, probably my queen as well. Although I do feel like my flank pawns, like if you want to get in cheap on something,
Mm-hmm.
those often live very long and important lives.
Yeah,
lives in my games.
The pawns are the offensive linemen of chess.
They are.
Yeah,
What would be your worst piece?
Somehow my light squared bishop does worse than my dark squared bishop, and I
Oh.
don't understand. It's just something about the way that I play. It was known about Bobby Fischer that he like much preferred his light squared bishop to his dark squared bishop, with playing with the white pieces. But I don't know. From me, it's for some reason the opposite.
Yeah. You solved a 50-piece puzzle when you were 2 years old. What do you remember what that puzzle was?
No, I don't remember it. But what I do know is that my 4-year-old nephew, he's better than I am.
Ooh.
He's been better than I am for a couple of years already. So
Is he next?
we definitely got some talent in our bloods.
Do you know how
when
long
it comes to that?
Yeah, do you know how long that puzzle took you when you were 2 years old?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have very few memories of
All right,
those
I'm just
days,
trying to figure it out because
unfortunately.
I did a 50-piece puzzle with my son like maybe a few weeks ago, and it took me about like 35 minutes. So I'm thinking you as a 2-year-old were smarter than me as a 40-year-old.
I don't know. Honestly, I think the last time I did a 200 puzzle piece with my nephew. I think that took a couple of hours. Like,
Okay.
that was embarrassing.
Okay.
I probably think that I was better at 2 or 3 than I am now.
That's crazy.
Is your nephew? He's playing chess.
No, I don't think he's started with that yet.
What's the youngest you can be to actually learn the game and to get good?
So there's an Indian kid who's 3 years old and who's rated 1600.
What does that mean?
A
What does that
3-year-old?
mean for us? Because we have no idea what that means.
Yeah, that means you're a very decent amateur player. You beat.
It's 3.
You're like a middle of the pack player in like a normal chess club anywhere.
That's crazy.
And I've seen him play. He can definitely move the pieces around.
Let's say, and I think you're the GOAT. You're our GOAT. You're going to be the GOAT for a long time. But let's say 10 years from now, you get passed up. Would you rather get passed up by like a 5-year-old or maybe someone who's in his 20s? 'Cause I think you'd want to get passed up by a 5-year-old in like the most hilarious fashion.
I don't think it's possible to get to that level at 5.
That's why you're the GOAT.
But you know, I want to see somebody. I want to see somebody among the kids like really stand out and be a serious threat to be that new number 1 guy who can actually dominate. Because that has been the norm in chess, that there's always kind of been that one guy who's been better than the others. And with the kids right now, I don't see it. Like, there are a lot of them are really talented, but it's not obvious that one of them is gonna dominate. So
Yeah.
I would love for that to happen, and then I'd probably try my very best to hang on for another few years.
That would be so funny. If me or Big Cat were playing against this 3-year-old, there's a good chance he would just absolutely destroy us, and then
He would 100%.
Yeah.
and then he'd have to get his diaper changed. Like, that's a possibility that could happen.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's peeing
Yeah.
himself and just ruining us mentally. So for you, I know that being number 1 for so long, for
The
a lot of-
longest.
the longest
the longest of anyone in chess history.
ever born in the history of the world.
Actually, Kasparov was about 20 years, and I'm 15 years. I don't want to be hurting my case here.
Okay, all right.
All right,
But I'm
fine. But that was
approaching-
also, listen, let's just throw this in there.
That's the plumber area.
That's
obviously.
the plumber, and also USSR geopolitical shit. I don't know.
Yeah, they were cheating
We'll figure
in
it
Russia.
out. Yeah,
They were doping.
Yeah.
That's why they're not in the Olympics.
Yeah, actually, here's
Yeah.
what we'll go with. Kasparov had 2 different times. He wasn't number 1 for 20 years because he was Kasparov USSR, Kasparov Russia.
Different
Those are
guy.
2 different guys.
Different guy. Yeah, the flag changed.
The flag did
That is
change.
true.
I'm looking right now. The flag had changed.
Head to head.
Yeah.
You versus him. Who won?
I only played him a couple of times. At 21 years ago, I managed 1 draw.
Okay.
And then we're actually working together back in 2009, which was extremely after he'd retired. So he was my coach for a bit, which was extremely helpful for me. But then we played a few training games. We didn't play too many because it got too competitive, and
I love that. I love that.
it would kind of ruin the whole vibe.
Yeah.
But I think then it was fairly even. Like, I had slight edge, but it wasn't. There wasn't a huge difference.
So as you've been so good,
He's really good.
yeah, as you've been so good for so long, do you have to find new ways to keep yourself engaged, or are you ever like, I've played all the chess, I've thought about every possible combination of moves? Like, how do you stay at the top if you've been that dominant for that long?
Easy answer is that I love playing, and to me the next tournament is the most important, right? The next game is what I'm concerned with. So there's nothing particular that I would love to win except for the next game. So I'm still living and breathing when I'm at tournaments, but honestly, I don't have a lot yet to achieve. So I just love playing.
Yeah.
Have you thought about maybe trying checkers?
Honestly, I don't even know the rules of checkers.
So I could
yeah.
beat you at checkers.
You're a bum.
Yeah,
I didn't mean
You
that.
could.
You're the goat. That's very funny. I mean, and also we definitely couldn't. 'cause
Yeah,
it
you
take
would. You would sit down at
2
the board and
seconds.
immediately you'd say, "Okay."
Yeah, 2 seconds to figure it out. What? Can you explain the jeans thing? The fact that you got fined, most ridiculous thing ever. Is that just the chess has to figure out a way to kind of get with the times, because you actually got fined for wearing jeans to a tournament?
Yeah, the thing was that there was a dress code, and the general dress code was I don't know, business casual or smart casual, something like that. But the thing is, I was in a lounge that ran a little bit late, and I went back to the hotel, got changed. I just forgot to change my jeans. It was an honest mistake. These were decent jeans. Like, I had a nice shirt, I had a jacket. I definitely met the general criteria for the vibe that you wanted for that tournament. And the most ridiculous part was that, like, chinos were allowed, jeans were not, and players were checked for pants that, well, these look like jeans, but they're actually chinos,
Uh-huh.
so it's okay.
So it was about the material.
Well,
like
yeah.
somebody came up and had to. They
when,
felt.
when it's like a 200 player tournament, in a big hall, and most people, like, they don't make a ton of money from chess. Like, they cannot necessarily afford to have nice suits and so on. But in my case, it was an honest mistake, and I was told that I was going to get fined, and if I don't change for the next game, then I will be forfeited, which I thought was so insane that I thought there was no way they were going to enforce that, seeing as I looked perfectly presentable. And, well, then it turns out they did, and then I was like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I understand that, they have certain rules and they want to enforce them, but I think I still think it was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah,
Bad boy.
no, I'm not sure if I'm the best ambassador for for the whole jeans thing, because I like wearing jeans, but as I said, it was an honest mistake. But it's become a thing now, so now I'm obviously wearing jeans to everything.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Can you wear shorts?
No, one player was actually forfeited for wearing shorts at a tournament.
That's crazy.
And his explanation was that, well, this is a knockout tournament, and honestly, I expected to get knocked out in the first couple of rounds. I don't have any more clothes to use. This is all I got. You see, like, this is the level we're at.
Yeah.
At chess tournaments. But that's why I loved playing from home online tournaments during the pandemic. Like, you can be sure that I was rocking shorts under the table in a lot of those online events.
Would you play better if you're wearing shorts?
Yeah, so I was living, like, by the sea, so a lot of times I would use the breaks in between games to, like, go for a little swim. I would come back with my hair all wet, and with my bathing shorts dripping, and just sitting down on the towel and playing the games.
Love
Good
that.
times.
Love that.
Do you think that your hair gives you an edge? Like, can you tell that your opponent gets
Best
mesmerized sometimes?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm too lazy to do anything about it, unfortunately. But that has also become a thing now. So whenever I actually make my hair, people just get freaked out.
Well, you're a heartthrob as well. You're bad boy heartthrob goat. One last thing about the goat, and I have one last question after that, because I know you're gonna run. But you're being humble by saying, Kasparov and everyone else. There's no one who can touch you right now, though, right? Like, no one in a full tournament setting can touch you right now.
No, I mean, I will lose a game here and there in a tournament here and there, but at the moment, I would say that I'm definitely the best at every format that we play. And honestly, my closest competitors are still the old guys around my age.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the kids, they're good, but they're not quite there yet.
I love that.
Talk that shit,
I
champ.
love that. Yeah, we got to start talking more shit. Can we talk shit on your behalf? You did post a Omar from the Wire post. You know, that was kind of talking some shit. I like that.
Is it wrong if I admit that was not me and that was my social media guy?
Oh,
And
okay.
I probably wouldn't have done that myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we allowed to post clips from the Wire on your behalf?
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Oh,
you
love
make
that.
a great move with your light squared bishop, and then we do the Weebay where he's like looking around like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That one? This one?
Sure,
Another one?
sure.
Okay.
Are we
Yeah.
allowed to tell people that you'd fuck a bitch up with your light squared bishop any day of the week?
Dark squared. I
Dark
prefer
squared
dark
bishop.
squared.
I knew that. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, I got to tighten that up.
But we're working on the light square.
Yeah, we're working on it. No, that's actually I said it right. It's you'd fuck him up with your off bishop, even the one you're not even good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd kick their ass.
That's true.
You'll beat their ass, left-handed. I don't know what dominant hand you are, but yeah, that's how you
I
got to
am
do it.
right-handed.
Yeah, so
I'm
that's
left-footed though.
oh,
That's
okay.
weird.
All right,
Yeah.
Magnus, I got one last question. We really appreciate it, man. It's been awesome. Roback question, rhoback.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE. So my last question is, so in the future of chess and where you're going, actually, I have a different question because I heard this about you and I find it very interesting. There's a timer for chess, right? So what is the timer in a tournament setting, or does it vary tournament to tournament?
It varies tournament to tournament, but you can say that classical chess is usually about 2 hours per game. And then you have rapid chess, which is like 15, 20 minutes. And you have blitz chess, which is 5 minutes or less.
Okay, so I was listening to an interview, and it was really interesting to me that you said that basically there are times when, like, someone who you're playing, they will take forever to make a decision. And you know in your heart of hearts, like, if you go past about 10, 15 minutes, you're not going to find something that wasn't there. And I feel like that's a good way to live life, where it's like people overthink everything now. And you're like, in chess, I will know, like, I will go through my list of what strategies I want within the first 10 minutes. If it's not there, you got to just make a move.
No, that's true for sure. And that is something that chess teaches you as well. Exactly that you have to make decisions constantly, and they're not going to be based on perfect information. But how much better is it going to get if you procrastinate? That's uncertain. Before we go, one last thing that I will say, because I'm going to get in trouble after otherwise.
What's that?
It's that my wife loves the pizza reviews.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Love
That's why
that.
I'm
One
here.
bite.
We
That's
got to
why I'm
get
here.
you. Listen, do you come to America for tournaments?
I'm coming to Vegas for a freestyle tournament in July.
Does
July.
does a freestyle tournament get crazy?
No, freestyle, is that the Bobby Fischer one with the randomized?
Yeah, that's where you randomize the starting position. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
well, we'll exchange contact information. Maybe we get you on a pizza review. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd love that for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Magnus. You are our GOAT. We will defend you now.
Who's your
going
biggest rival? Like, who should me and Big
Yeah.
Cat set our sights on and make sure that they know that they're not the GOAT?
I would say it's yet to come.
Yeah.
There's nobody
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
no one.
Yeah,
I
you
like
know,
that.
actually, the real answer to who your biggest rival is you not eating
Yeah.
Chinese food during a game after playing 18 holes of golf. That's the problem. That's the only way you're going to lose.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Magnus. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Magnus Carlsen was brought to you by State Farm. In basketball, the great players don't just do it alone. They have teammates, coaches, and a solid support system behind them. It's kind of like insurance because, let's face it, a lot of us probably aren't great at doing that alone either. That's where State Farm comes in. State Farm is a teammate always ready to assist, to help you find the coverage that you need, and to help you recover from the unexpected. From fender benders to storm damage or even just a question about your policy, State Farm is there to help provide and assist when you need it. All through the State Farm mobile app, a network of 19,000 local agents, and online at statefarm.com. So don't just go at it alone. When you need help protecting what matters most, State Farm is there. State Farm with the Assist. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability and eligibility vary by state. Magnus Carlsen was also brought to you by Experian. We're going to take a moment to talk about BFFs. Zach, who is your BFF?
Memes.
Memes. I love that. Memes, who's your BFF?
Big Cat.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Big Cat, who's your BFF?
You, PFT.
Hank, who's your BFF?
Zach.
Everybody's getting love. I like that. Did anybody
Except
say
Hank. Hank didn't get a BFF.
ask me who my BFF is.
Who's your BFF?
It's you, Big Cat.
Nice.
There's one BFF who always looks out for you. Hank and I, we have a business relationship.
Yeah,
now.
that's
It's
facts.
not personal. There's one BFF who will always look out for you in the financial space, and that is Experian. They are your big financial friend, your BFF. Experian has a bunch of legit ways to help you save. And get this, the Experian app it lets you check your FICO score, and it does a bunch of more totally BFF kind of things to help you manage your finances. Bet your other BFFs can't do all that. Experian is here to support you in making smart financial decisions and maximize your financial potential. Get started by downloading the Experian app at no cost. Let your big financial friend help you take control of your financial future. If you would ask me what's one change I would have made in my early mid-20s, I would have gotten a better hold on my finances. Never too early to start. The earlier you start, the better it is. And what better way to get started than by downloading the Experian app? Let them be your big financial friend. Download the Experian app today. And now, here's Guys on Chicks.
Okay, let's wrap up. We got Guys on Chicks. Hank,
Yeah.
let's do it.
My boyfriend cannot stop golfing. I bought him new clubs for his birthday, assuming he would want to play golf with me, but he has an addiction. He has played 7 days in a row, only watches YouTube golf videos, and claims he's going to break 90 this year. What is a way to get him away from the course or to be able to get me involved in golfing with him? He takes practice swings constantly at home and claims if he did it full time, he could become pro or make a cool YouTube channel.
Okay. So you bought him the clubs, though.
Yeah.
So you bought him the clubs with an understanding that he would golf with you? Do you have clubs? Does this lady have clubs?
Probably not.
I honestly think if she just said, hey, can we golf together, he'd probably be like, okay.
Yeah. And this is also, we've talked about this lesson a million times, but before you start dating, you have to have all your hobbies set because you can't just add golf. You can add golf, but you can't add golf addict.
No.
There's a difference. You could be a golfer, but if this guy's playing 7 days a week and YouTube tutorials and practicing his swing in the living room, you're gonna need to ease into that one.
Yeah.
Hank, are you addicted like that? No, you're not even. You're actually. I wouldn't say you're a golf addict like that.
No, that described me pretty well.
Oh, okay.
I just watch golf. Like I'll put it on a TV show and watch like an episode and then just like throw on YouTube golf.
Do you practice your swing?
Not really. I mean, I mess around here. I hit some putts, like a little putting green.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, every guy just wants to be Ryan Whitney after he stopped playing hockey.
Yeah.
That was like the greatest statement I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
My problem with golf is it's not 4 hours.
No.
If you're playing around a golf in most urban locations, if you have to go for a drive to get to the course, you're looking at probably I'd say 6.5 to 8 hour investment.
That's my thing is 12 holes. Make 12-hole golf courses. 12-hole golf courses would be perfect. You'd be in and out in 2:15. Done.
Yeah, like you said, it really is that you can't pick it up after the fact. Because all the free time, they want to be golfing, you want to be doing whatever else it is.
Yes.
It's just going to come to a head.
You can't even substitute a golf addiction for a former addiction that you had.
Yeah.
Like you have to start the relationship being like, just so you know, I've got really 19 holes in my life, and I spend a lot more time with the first 18 than the last one.
And that's where it's like, it's also, it's
No, I was talking about the butt.
Oh.
Exclusively butt.
it's not really feasible because like it's actually insane like how expensive country club memberships are. But like if you are at a country club that has a pool and like a restaurant and stuff, you can be like, oh yeah, like just let's hang out at the club. But
I'm thinking
it's
about
not
it
really
now.
feasible.
The move, now that we're talking it out, is for any single guys out there and you're not addicted to golf, pretend you're addicted to golf and then you can slowly ease it back and look like a hero.
Ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think one day you might get a golf addiction.
Right. Or even if you don't get a golf addiction, being like, yeah, I play golf 7 days a week, but for you, I'm going to do 5.
I'm going to quit.
Yeah. And then just use that time to go to the bar and watch games.
Mm-hmm.
My fiance is starting a new job and now is telling me he can't take a day or 2 off for a trip we had pre-planned for my birthday, which is in his 3rd week. I've told him the trip was pre-planned and his job will understand, but he's insisting he can't go because it's a bad look for his new job, which has turned into a big fight. Am I crazy or is he right? You got to try.
No, he's a pussy.
Yeah, you got to try.
He should have
If they
said,
tell him no.
He should have said when he was applying for the job, hey, I have a vacation in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, is that cool?
Yeah.
He just was a pussy about it. And now...
I also think that's one of those things that's smart. And I guess I haven't
gonna
really
be a
ever started a new
pro-vacation,
job,
yeah.
but when you start a new job,
That's a great statement to have. I've never started a new
Are
job.
you're a one jersey guy?
one Jersey guy, just go in and say I have a pre-planned vacation
Correct.
in 2 weeks or
Correct.
like 3 weeks in, because
Yeah.
that's always yes. You as an employer, like you have to be such an asshole to be like, yeah, no.
It
Yeah,
happens all the time.
They're not going to say we're not going to hire you because you're taking a Friday off next week.
Right. Right.
But as you're going through the application process, you might think that in the back of your head. You got to make sure that they want you more than you need them.
Yeah. This guy, to this woman, you got to just tell your boyfriend to nut up. What do you say, Max?
My first week at Barstool, my brother was getting married that weekend, and I missed the rehearsal dinner because I was too scared to tell Dave. Early on Friday.
Well, that's rehearsal.
I know, but my brother was mad.
How'd
Yeah.
you do?
Huh?
How'd you do at the wedding?
I was good.
You skipped
Yeah,
a
but you didn't
rehearsal.
practice.
Oh. Well, rehearsal dinner isn't like an
No, it's
actual-
not a
there's-
rehearsal.
Well, we're
There-
real.
No,
we're-
that's where the game plan. That's where the install goes in.
But it was also around the same
First
time
15.
of like
Yeah.
this will be real ones will remember this, like the golf guy that was missing work for golfing and then Dave fired him.
yeah,
So it was at you remember that, Hank?
yeah.
Well, this is why whenever you
who is
apply
that?
for a job, you
Like a
tell
gambling intern.
the employer
way
like
back.
I have a golf addiction, even if you don't.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then you can just be like, I'm leaving for a golf trip.
But I feel
Yeah,
that
I mean,
I'm a
real
pussy.
jobs is no. Real jobs is different. I didn't do any. I was scared to do anything for like 5 years with Dave. That's a little different. But I feel like now we're a real company. When we interview people, they say that it's like, yeah, no problem. Like,
Yeah. I've had
also
that
worked-
happen
yeah.
like multiple times in the last year where someone says, oh, yeah, by the way, like 4 weeks, I have a vacation. Okay, great.
Happened
Sounds
with
good.
Pug when he first started.
Yeah. Happened with Dom, my assistant. He was like, hey, I have a wedding.
That's
in
what I'm
like
saying. You
2
just
weeks.
say
I was
that.
like, yeah, no problem.
Just say that, even if you don't.
Yeah. We're just teaching everyone how to just kind of skirt around some stuff here.
You take your first 2 weeks the second you start.
Yeah.
That's how you really get the
Honeymoon.
system. Yeah.
Honeymoon.
Sup, Big Cat PFT and Hank. I've been dating my boyfriend for 6 months now. We both love to travel, and we go into Italy at the end of the month. My boyfriend handled booking the flights for us, and I just logged on to Delta to confirm everything was put in correctly.
Uh-oh.
I was shocked to discover he booked himself in business class and me in economy.
Oh.
I'm a teacher, and he does very well at his job, and I feel like this is 100% a slight. What do I tell
Yeah.
him? That is insane.
You know what?
That
Diabolical.
is insane.
He sounds like a good guy. Sounds like this will work out.
Dude, why?
Wait,
He basically just setting up for a fight in Italy.
he might-
He's basically going to a boxing match in Italy.
I'm going to read this the best possible way and say he's going to say when you get to the airport that he's in business, you're in economy,
No.
and then at the last second switch and let you go in business.
No.
And if that doesn't happen, you need to just not get on that flight.
Wow.
You need to say like something's off about this flight. I don't feel good. I'm going home.
That motherfucker's not real.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's one thing that
Uh-oh.
what if he has like
Points.
this stat, like a certain status that he can sit anywhere on the flight for free?
You got to let her know, though.
Yeah.
You got
Because
to give her a heads up.
I've had this fight.
Wait,
You've done this?
You booked
Well, it's both economy, but I can sit like 6 aisle, and then my girlfriend's like 30 aisle or 30 window, and then I have to go back to 30 aisle, and I'm like, I had 6 aisle with more leg room and the first off the plane. But it's because I can sit wherever I want on the plane.
Right. All right. So, man, this is a brutal one. if the guy's listening, here's what you got to do. You got to be like, hey, I thought that like at least one of us should have some sleep on this flight. I'll handle everything when I get there. But you're screwed. He's screwed.
Or he could play the, well, I thought that we could split it. When one of us is sleeping, we can go up to business, and the other person can go back.
Or maybe it's like, I'll take business on the way there, you get business on the way back.
This guy's a moron.
Moron. Here's what not to do.
The second you book those flights, you know what's coming.
You know it. Here's what's not to do, and because I've tried this in varying points in my life where I'm like, I'm taller. I need this. You don't. That's a bad idea. Tried that. Doesn't work.
I've done the reverse because I don't really care that much, and it's a great power move.
Out. Yeah. What a crazy move, though. He basically just signed and sealed his vacation to be a knockdown, drag-out fight for at least 2 days.
It's such a weird move to do. He can't possibly be like, I'm going to sit in first, you sit back there.
But he would be
He's
more
gonna
comfortable.
Move back. He's going to move back.
He's going to let her.
You lose the fight every time. You got to move back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to win the fight.
There's no way to win the fight.
Even if you get to stay in your seat, like,
you're going to lose.
She should leave him.
He had to have gotten that
They've been dating for
free.
how long?
He had to have gotten that
6
seat.
months.
6 months. If he doesn't give you the seat, you break up with him.
If he spent $5,000 like out of his own pocket to move up to that seat,
She said he does well.
and not also move, then this is the worst guy in the world.
You know what?
I'm like choosing to believe that this guy isn't that much of an asshole.
You know, Big Cat makes a good point. The guy, he
does well.
He works hard.
He does well.
She's a teacher. He does very well financially.
Yeah.
She should not get
Get your cash
there.
up.
She probably wouldn't even like it.
This guy's the worst.
She'd probably be like, what is this bubbly water?
Yeah.
That's champagne. Come on.
Yeah, maybe what you should do is go back in the middle of the flight and give her like a eighth of a piece of pizza and a little sip of like a Diet Pepsi.
I'll give you
here you go, pizza party.
I'll give you the crackers that they give me. You get all my snacks.
All right, is that it, Hank?
One more. Sorry.
One more? What happened?
I lost it.
Wait, is he a troop?
He might be a troop.
If he's a troop,
Respect.
that's his seat.
Yeah, respect.
Could Big Cat eat an entire machine of ice cream? Genuine question after seeing him down numerous cups of milkshakes during the Doug Doug challenge.
What would be the amount of time? I mean, that's gallons.
How much ice cream?
There's Zach. What goes in there? Don't take off your headphones, Zach. Zach, how many gallons hold in there in the machine?
So it's 20 quarts each side, 40 quarts total, 4 quarts in a gallon, 40 divided by 10 gallons.
10 gallons? No.
4, right?
4 gallons. How many gallons in the whole thing? He's taking out
One
his
second,
calculator.
my bad.
Super calculated.
He's got the calculator out. 40 quarts.
Yeah, so 10 gallons of mix, but each gallon of mix makes 1.5 gallons of soft serve.
Oh my God! So it's even more.
Is
It's
So
15
15
gallons.
gallons
15
of soft serve ice cream would be
no
our
chance.
max if we filled it all the way up.
There's no way.
No chance. It would take me a month. Mm-hmm. That's
You would
so
drown.
much ice cream. Yeah, I'd drown in ice cream. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up the show. Zach, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I drove you home on Sunday night. I had a great time.
I appreciate the ride very much.
Yeah. What floor do you live on in your?
It's I'm on the 14th floor of the building.
14th. Okay, 14th. How long, PFT and Hank? How long do you think? 14th floor. He lives on the 14th floor. How long did you avoid standing next to the windows?
Roughly between 1.5 to 2 weeks.
Okay, you just didn't go even close.
I didn't want to go through them.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like I didn't want to get close enough. Like I didn't want to get close enough to the window. Like say, God forbid, I asked the leasing lady. She said this double pane thick glass, but like if you were to go through a window at the 14th floor, you're finito. You're done.
Right.
So I just stayed a little bit back.
Are these like floor to ceiling windows?
Yeah, they start at the ground, so you can kind of like peek and see, like, ooh, like, oh shit, like if I go down there,
Yeah.
it's over.
But you live in a studio,
Yes.
so you took like a quarter of your apartment away.
I did avoid like a decent amount of the square footage because the window's right there. But I'm more comfortable with it now. I've got reassurance, and then
Okay.
How
a
much-
couple people let me know I was an idiot and I should just get to the window.
How much room would you give yourself between where the window was and where you had to stand?
Just like a good foot, and then I made sure I wasn't like putting pants on or anything close to it, getting dressed in the morning. So I would avoid things that I would have to balance for near the windows too. So like,
Are you a fall risk?
not a fall risk, no.
I
but a
think the
window
wi-
avoider that high sometimes.
Window avoider.
I
yeah.
think those windows are built that they could take you.
They say,
Yeah.
for sure. It's
Now,
always until
I just like the
you're
idea
through
of
'em.
you being in how many square feet is your apartment?
I think it's like $399.
And you
Not
were
too bad.
you just cut off
Just say 400. Yeah.
Couple.
$399. Yeah, you just
Oh yeah, true.
you just cut off a portion of your apartment because you're like, I can't get near these windows.
But it's on the wall, so it's not like it was easily avoidable.
Yeah.
Very easily avoidable. We're comfortable near the windows now, pretty much for the
Good.
most part.
Pretty much.
Good.
Now, are you afraid of heights?
I don't. It's the fear of falling that gets me. So I guess yes, heights a little iffy on.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
It could be-
PFT's terrified of heights.
Terrified. Although I went down the Brewers slide last night.
Oh, nice.
And they warned me. They said, Bernie slide, if you're afraid of heights, it's a very tough thing to do. No problem. I've been working on myself.
Love that.
I've been working on myself.
Love
That's
that.
impressive.
Yeah, you can do it too. You can
Is that what
get
you say your
yourself
kids at the playground?
What?
Slides are scary. Good job.
No.
Oh.
I mean, they're good.
There was a moment where
Kids love slides.
the lady that worked for the Brewers was like, "You were so brave."
Oh.
I was like, "Thank
That's
you."
nice.
I was a
Nice.
brave boy today.
All right, good show. Numbers.
3.
Oh, wow, memes.
Sick.
You think today's the day, memes?
60.
Could be.
What's your backup number? 6?
Backup number 92.
92. I'll go 92.
I'll go 6.
Okay.
I'm 60.
I'll go 55.
99 put.
You go 14.
63. 21.
Good luck, Zach.
You as well.
What was your number, Zach?
14.
Oh, 94. Oh, that would have been so good if it was 92.
Love you guys.